enthusiast?
No. No.
Well, I will be the first to testify against you, Jonathan.
Have you ever been a member or attended a gathering of these people? Of this party?
It was mostly harmless. We didn't really talk about much.
Yeah, harmless in quotations.
Yeah.
Well, congrats, John. That's
Thanks.
I know you were eager and anxious to go to one of these matches.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What time is that game at?
6. If it was, I looked before. I said yes. If it was like a 7:30 or 8 o'clock, I'm like, there's no chance.
Well,
I'll
getting
never get
down
home.
there anyway around that time of day should be pretty easy. So
That's true.
from Natick,
Well,
it might take you 2 hours to get down
the
there.
bonus is coming from where I am traveling from. I have almost no time on Route 1 at all.
I don't think Route 1 is
No, it's
the issue is
95.
as much as
I'm not
it's
on 95 at all. Either.
all the roads that they're closing around the stadium. And when they did the dry run for France and Brazil, they said you can't close down every road. You still have to be able to get close to the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a match there tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
First one is tomorrow night.
I believe it's Scotland.
They'll have it all figured out for you, Johnny. Don't you worry.
Yeah, you should take the trains that they seem pretty confident in.
Haiti and Scotland.
Yep.
No, 9 o'clock tomorrow night. Jeez.
Yeah, it's Haiti, Scotland.
You don't put that. What do you want to put it on at noon? Your rube?
9 o'clock Eastern
No,
time.
you put that on in
Do
a
it.
nice primetime window.
Yeah.
Wow.
9 o'clock on Saturday night.
Yeah, you get that in there.
Well, there's no basketball game that I'll be watching instead. I too have news, Fred, and this was giving a lot of people a lot of anxiety. As it turns out, I will be hosting next weekend's Sports Hub Golf Club, as due to some unfortunate circumstances, the wedding trip has been heavily modified.
Oh, well, Hardy, I don't know if he's talked about this, but he was going to the Ozarks
Oh, we've talked about it.
on the air.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, he was going to the Ozarks for a wedding. The Ozarks in rural Missouri. So it was obviously someone related to the Kennedys was getting married in the Ozarks. And now things have been heavily, what are they, not getting married?
They are getting married. There is an illness in one of the families. And
Your prayers have been answered.
It's a serious illness in one of the families. So the wedding has been pushed back to August at a time when we cannot go. Now, my wife and daughter may still go next weekend to Omaha to see where most of the family is. Some of whom would be attending the wedding, but they can see more people. So they're still going to take the trip. My son and I will remain here in the Commonwealth. We will not be traveling next week.
Your
That's
daughter
too
wants
bad.
to go to Omaha.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's. I'm sure that now we know voodoo dolls exist. Bob, go ahead.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Hello.
Really love the Scott Solak, Steve Brule thing yesterday. That was brilliant. You gotta love John C. Reilly. The guy's an Academy Award nominated actor, been in some serious movies, and then he does Steve Brule. It's just great.
Yeah.
All right, Zolak. I got a question about Zolak. Is it true?
Yeah.
Or tell me the story again about
Hey, what's your
Zolak eating the
name? What's your
sliders.
name? Where are you calling from?
All right, Zolak. Why did you eat sliders behind the market jack?
What's your name?
Oh, it's Bob. Bob from Lawrence, man.
Bob. Neil and Bob.
So Zolak, great player, by the way. I saw you play for the Patriots a couple times. But what is the deal with you eating sliders behind the Shaws in Dorchester?
Yeah.
Why did you have to eat it behind the dumpster?
All right. Listen. I was trying to get cell phone reception. I was doing my cameos. You go on Cameo lately? You make any Cameo money, Fred?
Scott,
I bet your cameo is really good. Hey, this is Fred. Shut up! I'm talking Fred. You get on Cameo, you're like, hey, this is Fred. I'm a big idiot. I make so much money on Cameo. What's up, Wallach? No one ever asked for your cameo. Tool, nerd. What's up, Bob?
So, Zoe,
Bob up and down in the water.
now why didn't you just eat the sliders in your truck? Why did you have to eat them behind the dumpster?
I have a truck. What am I? Farmer Ted? What's up? What's up? What's up,
Some
Beaton?
supermarkets actually have like eating little food courts you can sit down in and actually eat the food in the.
Did I
in
ever
the
tell
store.
you
Why'd
that
you have
guy
to go by the
thought I
dumpster?
was Tony Easton when I was at the Shaw's in Dorchester?
No, you never
I'm
said
like,
that.
"Hey," so he was all excited to see me. I don't want to disappoint him. I said, yeah, I'm Tony. And I said, what's up?
Oh, really?
Idiot. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Again, Scott was seen in Dorchester behind a dumpster at the Star Market eating a platter of egg salad sandwiches, small egg salad sandwiches.
Wasn't he on a diet plan at the time?
He had started.
That's right.
And look, he mentioned something to me yesterday. He's doing an Awaken 180 reset right now. I noticed yesterday that guy can drop more weight more quickly than anyone.
Yeah.
I noticed it yesterday, but he had just started a reset. This is years ago, and he was one day in, and he was famished. He wasn't getting the sustenance that he was
Right.
had become accustomed to during one of his lapses. So before going into work that morning, he stopped at the Star Market next to the building in Dorchester, went in, got a platter of egg salad sandwiches, didn't want to be seen consuming them.
Platter.
So
No, yeah. So what a platter would be is if like you had a graduation party and you got and you put something on the dining room table that was like a plastic, large, circular tray that had many mini egg salad sandwiches, like meant to serve like 20 people.
perfectly described. The mini that you can get at Jersey Mike's. Like
Right.
those size.
Right.
Okay.
And he parked next to the dumpster and then got out of his truck and kneeled next to the dumpster. And to answer Bob's question, because I'm not sure that Zoe did, I believe it was his plan to consume the entire tray of egg salad sandwiches and then immediately throw the tray in the dumpster, which would actually be quite thoughtful of him because he was once spotted parking alongside the parking lot in front of the building in Dorchester, opening up his passenger door and throwing all of his trash onto the side of the parking lot, that spot that went down to the old TV 38 building.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a maintenance worker standing there watching him do it. And he went, dude, really? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there.
Oh well, if he had seen that, I mean, it was all. The only issue is that he had seen him there. I get it.
Right.
Otherwise, fine.
Right.
Now-
The man's problem was that he was standing right there.
Now, Zoe's explanation for being next to the dumpster, in case you didn't get it, Bob, was that the Wi-Fi was bad everywhere else.
I'd forgotten
And he
that
was
part.
trying to record cameos.
That's right.
And that was the spot that he found. Yeah, the steel of the dumpster is a great conductor of
Sure.
Wi-Fi signal.
Right.
So he was crouched next to the dumpster because that's what you want if you're going to spend $150 on a Zolak cameo. Have him crouched next to a dumpster. Giving your anniversary or graduation greeting. So that was his claim. But we believe after a thorough investigation, he was just there to eat the egg salad sandwiches and to throw the tray away.
My money's on that.
Now, who saw him?
Beetle.
Yeah, bird
Beetle
train.
pulled it because you never had to deal with it because the traffic wasn't bad.
Right.
But if you were pulling in and coming in a little hot, you could bang that right into the Star Market and avoid that last traffic light.
Right.
And go around the back of the building. Beetle had done that. Was going around behind the two buildings and saw Zoe's car there. I'm like, what the hell? Window down. Hey, Zoe, what are you doing? Oh, just uploading some cameos. You can't get Wi-Fi in this stupid building. Hey, where's Knudsen? He's probably on his boat. Start fixing the Wi-Fi. I'll be up in a minute. I'll see you, brother. I'll see you up there in a minute, brother.
And he saw him like, was the tray in his lap or did he have it on the ground?
I believe he was kneeled next to the dumpster.
I like the ground better. If that was the case, I like that.
Door ajar of the Free-Lease Tahoe or whatever he's driving. And crouched next to it.
Oh my God.
He's a forest animal. Oh my God.
Hiding.
Jesus.
Why didn't he just get like a sub and bring it into the station?
How about a large?
He was on a reset.
I understand that,
He
but
didn't want to be seen doing it. He felt shame.
yeah, but I think that if you brought a sub into the station, no one's gonna like go, oh wow, like you're eating, like I don't know if anyone would be like, wow, you're eating a sub, or you could just bring it in and eat it in like the kitchen, and what are the chances? And if that doesn't like if Bertrand walks by the kitchen and Scott's in there eating a sandwich, Bertrand, I don't think that like raises any red flags. But a tray of egg salad sandwiches behind a dumpster speaks of I'm not doing something I'm proud of.
I think once you start engaging in clandestine activities, they become more commonplace in your life, and you start doing things in secret that you don't have to just because you've become used to it.
So you're sure the egg salad sandwiches didn't just happen to be there, that he was hiding something else, and that the egg salad sandwiches were just an accoutrement?
I'm saying we all sneak around doing things, and once you get used to it, it probably added to the excitement of it. It probably added to the enjoyment of the sandwich doing it in secret.
Well, that's the thing, is that like hiding alcohol and like all that stuff is the worst. It's just like the worst. Like doing it at home, like if people have been through this stuff. I told you there's one guy, and when I heard this, I was like, wow, that was pretty smart, which is how stupid I am, is that he would take like a fifth of Jack Daniels and duct tape it under the sink at CVS. So like he would walk into CVS.
Whoa.
Are you looking at it as like that was smart? Because that's what I thought.
No, he was doing it in public places?
Yeah, but so if he would tell his wife or whatever, like, hey, I got to go to CVS, and he would go to CVS and he'd sit in the bathroom for like 10 minutes, like drinking, and then he would leave and then go out to, but I was like, that's brilliant. No getting caught there.
God.
Good Lord.
Well, it's like tied in alcohol. But that was not me. I'm not using a pseudonym for me. And no, I honestly was like, oh, that was pretty smart. But when you're hiding it like that sucks. But there is that like little thing of like the thrill of getting away with something. Like I only have so many, so many seconds to get all this done, and then you're gonna. So maybe that's the thrill of the eating. Like you said, any clandestine activity, there is a certain thrill to it.
The Jack Daniels at the CVS. I didn't even know you could use the bathroom at a CVS.
Yes, you can, apparently. John's nodding his head like, yeah, I take dumps in there.
Oh, yeah.
What's worse, the Jack Daniels or your dumps? I mean, that's for God to decide. That's for society to decide. If I work at CVS, I'd rather have the guy have a bottle of Jack in there than take a dump.
Yeah.
But, the guy he would duct tape. I'm saying Jack Daniels. I believe that's what it was. I don't know. But hard liquor underneath the sink at CVS.
Wow.
And I was actually like, that's smart. You could get away with it.
Yeah,
Or you could just put it in a glass and like leave, or a thermos and leave, and then you would have Jack Daniels. The whole point is that it's not in the home or anywhere that his wife could have had access to.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of the point. And most likely a place that no one ever would find it, because I don't know how often they go under the sink at the CVS. Like how often their hands are down there cleaning.
Yeah. I tried stashing something once and went back for it, and it wasn't there.
Where did you stash it?
It was at a gas station in Las Vegas. I thought maybe if I had, for some reason, I remember I had a Ziploc bag in my car, and now it wasn't a Ziploc bag full of white powder or anything. I had like a couple of loose Tums in it. But
egg salad sandwiches.
Right, for my egg salad sandwiches. But I did have a small envelope that did contain some white powder. I said, if I just throw this inside the Ziploc bag with a couple of like random, like Tums in there, and kind of crumple it up. And I found a big rock. This is how long ago, it was behind a payphone.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this gas station that, I knew and could frequent. I thought, this is a good place to stash these last two bumps. These are emergency bumps that I will need at some point. And I said, I had it all planned in my head. I'm like, if I need those emergency bumps, I can pull up to this payphone and act like I'm using the payphone. And I had the whole thing like in my head. So I found the rock. I'm like, this is where it goes. This is where it is. And I'm also thinking, are there like scorpions or snakes around here? We are in the desert. No, it'll be fine. All right. I went back, probably made it a year before I needed those emergency bumps. And I did the whole thing that I had planned out in my head. Like went in my pocket looking for some change, pretended to drop it 10 feet behind the payphone so I would have to go over to that rock.
Yeah.
I didn't even find the rock, much less find the baggie that I had left there. But somebody got it or it blew away or something. I'm guessing no one ever found it and took advantage of
I was going to say, if you hit it in a gas station bathroom, I imagine that's an area that is combed through, not by employee, but
this
by...
wasn't in the bathroom. This
No, I was
yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
What I was gonna say is, if you said you hit it in the gas station bathroom, I imagine that's a place where that's being frantically searched a lot,
Yeah.
like not by employees.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Big show on the way today. Burt Breer in for the 7:00 hour. Our friend Catherine Tappan will be on to talk about the NHL Finals and so much more. What happened last night is coming up next.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
USA fans, this one's for... the paranoia. But what happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what's going on?
Oh, well, so much. Let's go to the Stanley Cup final, where last night they were back in Carolina. Series tied at 2. And the Carolina Hurricanes, once again, in a series that was supposed to be, goals are at a premium, and you might see a couple of periods of scoreless hockey every night before somebody breaks through. Once again, not the case.
0-0 in the opening 7 minutes. Eichel to the line, hurdle back for Eichel. He sends it in front, and he scores! What a back-and-forth setup for the Golden Knights. Pavel Dorofeev back and forth with Eichel, and the Knights take a 1-0 lead.
Dorofeev.
Yes, on the power play, Dorofeev last night.
Dorofeev. It's calling me bad.
Oh,
If they were going to do a song for the Vegas Knights.
I see.
Dorofeev. I adore Fia.
I got it now.
Instead of I adore Mia more. Where'd they sing that, John?
They sung that in Beverly Hills 90210 in the diner, right before.
What? Whose diner?
Oh, that was the Peach Pit. That was the Peach Pit.
Run by whom?
Nat.
And they came in.
Nat
and-
Pasiccio, to be more specific.
Who was into it, but not too into it because they're a straight guy?
What? Say that again?
There was a guy that was standing there while they sang, and he was, respectful, but he was more like
Brandon wasn't about it.
Yeah,
Brandon
was
wasn't
more-
about it.
he was more-
It's sing for your supper, and Brandon
But
wasn't
David
about it.
was.
Yes, it was. Well, David was the musician of the group.
How many episodes is 902? How many times have you seen 90210 all the way through, Hardy?
0.
It's 0 in addition to 2.
Never seen an episode of 90210 in its entirety. I've maybe have seen 5 minutes of one episode.
Oh, well, that's a good news. That's good news is that you can get on Hulu now and watch 90210. The first season, you know what? People screw with the first season, but it's not as bad as you would remember.
It's been a while since I've
Steve's
seen
a little more of a one-dimensional character, and David plays the little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Well,
was
David starts a year behind them. He has to catch up over the summer.
more than a year, I think.
I thought it was one. I thought it was
it
one.
ends up being one that he goes up, but to my understanding, in the first season, it seems like those guys are seniors. I know it all changes, but it seems like those guys are like seniors and David's a freshman. Because remember, the whole thing is that Steve's got a car. He's got the vet.
That's right. He's got the vet. That's
know?
right. And he tries to pick up a girl. She goes, I don't do vets. Crushes him. I remember that.
Yeah. Steve had some low self-esteem, and he covered it up with kind of a false sense of self that
That's
didn't
true.
really go over. He used cars and his father's money to try to get past his insecurities. Mm-hmm. But we all knew. He was holding a flame for Kelly.
Yeah, Rush wasn't the greatest dad either. He was up against it for a while. Yeah.
No,
He had the actress wife, and the father that didn't pay enough attention. It wasn't good.
All right.
Anytime you want to jump in, you just do that.
You lay back in the cut. You let the men talk.
I have nothing to add.
You let the men talk about man things.
Impossible for me to care less. You guys can go as long as you want. It's Friday. Go for it. Do the whole show at 90210.
This is typical.
Don't tempt me. Don't you dare do
this
that.
This is typical Steve behavior. Outside looking in, let's diminish the inside.
He's standoffish like he's above it all.
You know what? This is Emily Valentine behavior.
That's a good point.
This
Good point by
This is
you.
a completely valid reaction. Had I come in here this morning and said, I don't F with anything on the Andy Griffith Show past season 5, but I'm watching a later episode last night where Goober grows a beard and becomes a deep thinker as a result.
See, if you talked to John about it and he had seen it, I would find that delightful.
Well, but I wouldn't expect.
Don't worry.
I wouldn't expect you to
I haven't.
participate.
I was joking about I was obviously making a joke about the real men talking about man things. Why don't you get involved?
And
It was a joke.
Series it's geared for teenage girls. I have seen a ton of it.
Yeah. I mean, but at least I have an excuse of how I saw it. But I did get into it. You know, my floor.
when you were doing nights, you just watched TV while the songs were playing, right?
No, I taped phone calls. Like I was like super into it.
Well, when did you
nights.
watch all the TV?
When I did nights, I watched it during the day.
Oh, okay.
And then,
all right.
so at first I did 6 to 10. So when I
Yeah.
got home at 11, I watched Seinfeld. So that was the first thing. But my freshman year of college, we had co-ed floors of our dorm, and all the girls went into the room, the TV room. This is, no one had cable in their dorm rooms. All into the room on Wednesday nights to watch 90210 and Melrose Place. And I obviously wanted to be with the girls, and also I was infatuated with this one freshman girl too. I was a freshman, and I started watching 90210, and I was like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. And then 5 episodes in, it's a soap opera. So 5 episodes in, you start getting. I never liked Melrose Place that much. It was too outlandish. The 90210 though was, and it also was like corny enough, like almost deliberately corny enough that it kind of like that was a good thing, and it kind of got you into it. But I was legitimately got into it. I mean, I didn't watch it my whole college career. I came out and watched it and started watching it again. But yeah, and then it's just funny that you remember random stuff about such a dumb show, and then that's kind of I enjoy that, like when people remember stupid things about some dumb thing and it just sticks in your memory. And I like that John doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would have watched 90210. And so I do find it funny that he remembers so much about it.
Because of a specific actress. Like I was a Jenny Garth guy, and I got into Melrose Place because I loved Courtney Thorne-Smith. So that's the thing.
Well,
I'm
Melrose,
down with that.
in Melrose Place, the girls were 1,000 times hotter.
yes, of course.
But the thing is that you've heard about this too. Like, athletes getting in, like, this is more back in the day, like getting super into soap operas, or
Yes.
like musicians getting super into soap operas because you're sitting around a hotel room.
That's what we did in college. One of my roommates in college, for some reason, got into it in high school. I think maybe he was home for like a month. He had surgery or something. Started watching Young and the Restless, and watched it all summer. Before freshman year, and he was into it, and we started watching it. If anybody was home at whenever it was on 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Young and the Restless. And the great thing about those soaps is that you can miss 3 days. They move at a glacial pace. So you can miss a day or two and you'll be fine.
I remember we had Jerry Remy on the show when we first
Yes.
started it, and Remy, that's all Remy would do. I think The Young and the Restless was his thing too. That's what he would do in hotel rooms. And I remember the Red Sox had to play the season opener over in Japan. And the thing he was most upset about was
Missing
he
his
couldn't
soaps.
watch his soap operas during the day.
Sterling was the same way. He taped the soap operas
And
would
watched
come home
it
and watch
Fort
them.
Leo when he went home. That's right.
The only reason I'd never watch soap operas is they didn't look like TV, which you understand. Like they were filmed completely differently. Like they looked almost like pornographic. Not the scenes, but the way it was shot.
Well, it's when you actually hit the reel setting on your TV now, and everything looks
it's like extremely like gaudily lit. Like it wasn't lit specifically for the scenes. It was just lit on the soundstage all the same. And it never looked like real TV to me. It like just like, soap opera. So I'd automatically turn it off and then masturbate to Keanu Tom.
All right. So the Golden Knights took a 1-0 lead about 6-7 minutes into the game last night. Would the Hurricanes answer? Yes, they would.
Yes.
Theodore helps move it up the boards, but not out.
Yeah.
Carolina can keep it in. Ehlers with a shot directly in front. He scores! The captain! It's 5 games. It's 6 goals in the Stanley Cup
I saw that.
final. Oh, Captain Jordan Stahl has tied it, and this place has gone bananas. What a series.
Jordan Staal only has 8 goals in the playoffs. He scored 6 goals in the Stanley Cup Finals. I think he's the first guy since the mid-50s to score in the first 5 games of a Stanley Cup Final.
After only getting 2 goals in all the previous the games leading up to it.
Crazy.
Yeah. Let's jump ahead here because the Hurricanes would pile on end up with a 4-1 lead at one point. But the final call here.
And this one is over. We don't get the official horn. Now we do. Carolina, 4-2 winners in Game 5. They take a 3-2 series lead, and we will talk to you in Sin City. I know they like gold out there, but a big piece of silver is waiting for Carolina.
They like gold out there.
Yeah.
It's they're very into gold.
Well, there's the golden nugget. There's the idea of winning riches and gold when you go to Las Vegas.
You win gold?
Sure, sometimes. And there's prospecting that goes on in
the
that part of
desert?
the country. Yes.
I thought prospecting required water of some kind.
I think it's more silver mines, actually, in Las Vegas and in Nevada.
Yeah, this guy sounds like a real dope about his. He doesn't know anything about precious metals.
Well, he doesn't know anything about hockey because he's in North Carolina. We found
Doesn't sound like it.
That's how you think about it.
It wasn't It wasn't being from Carolina. It was that dumb accent. By the way, have you seen how much Zach Eichel's playing? He plays like 25 minutes a game. They just keep him out there. They're just like, you play Zach Eichel.
What's really funny is the Toronto fans are all up in arms because Mitch Marner's been really good for Las Vegas during the playoffs and good in the Stanley Cup Finals. And now they're charging Marner. Marner never tried this hard when he was here and all that stuff.
Which is weird because he's from Toronto. So I would believe that he was very invested in the success of that team. Unfortunately, he was surrounded by horrible players.
Do you mean Jack Eichel?
Jack Eichel, what did I say?
Zach Eichel.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking to say by the bell.
Yeah. 23 minutes of ice time last night. Mitch Marner was the only one close to him at 21, and then no one is close to those.
Yeah, they had a graph.
Mark Stone was out there for almost 20.
They had a graph of his minutes during the playoffs, and it was like insane. So during the finals, he's been playing an awful lot. 26 minutes in game 4. Yeah, he's like 22, 26, 20, 23.
Yeah, they're rolling through those Hurricanes lines a lot quicker. Nobody is over 20 minutes from the Hurricanes with their time on ice in last night's game.
The whole thing about Carolina is apparently they don't have first, second, third, fourth lines. Like, he doesn't label them that way. They're kind of interchangeable. I'm sure they're
positionless hockey.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm sure they're weighted in a way, but he doesn't look at them like that. He looks at them as a more a fluid kind of situation. All right,
Hurricanes up 3-2.
Right, there you go. The Hurricanes up 3-2 as they head back to Vegas, where they love gold. Apparently, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
Patriots wrapped up in.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what else is going on?
Well, the World Cup is underway, and Mexico, who had not fared well in opening stages, from what I understand, did in fact fare well yesterday.
And incidentally, he and his opposite number, Hugo Bros, played against each other in the 1986 World Cup. Chitole was caught out there, and there's the only goal for the Mexicans. Quinones. Big goal.
Big goal, the 9-minute mark against South Africa.
Bad turnover in front of the net. Can't be doing that.
You watch?
I saw a highlight.
Okay.
I didn't
All
watch
right.
it, no.
Oh, but it would be another 58 minutes before anything else would happen.
Alvarado's crossing. That's the goal he was looking for. It's Raul Jimenez, and it's 2-0. A World Cup goal at last.
Not Jimenez, but Jimenez. I think if he's from Spain, it's Jimenez.
Yes, I
But
believe
in
that's
Mexico,
correct.
he is Jimenez.
Yes.
So, Ecuador and Scotland. Those are two teams they say to keep an eye on.
Ooh, Scotland playing at Gillette Stadium tomorrow night.
Ecuador and Scotland, they say long shots could make a little noise, is what a guy said on the radio.
Okay.
And I believe him entirely.
I'm just sharing my information with you guys. If you guys,
Can you tell me why?
I mean, he went on and on. I don't remember what he said, but he. I can't say I
I'm
was.
gonna need some more information.
I didn't ask you to do anything about it. I just am repeating something that I heard. Have you heard anything about Ecuador or Scotland?
No, I have
I'm just
not.
trying to participate in the
I
conversation.
just know the Scottish soccer fans, Scottish football fans, very rowdy in Boston. That's what I've heard.
Here's what
As opposed to their behavior in Scotland, which is not rowdy at all.
Here's what I know about Ecuador is from Captain Kangaroo when they're talking about the Galapagos Islands and they sing about the blue-footed boobies off the coast of Ecuador.
Stolen idea.
Bum, bum.
The captain stole that from me. The blue boobies.
Okay.
Yeah. Dead chick. It was called Rocky Suarez in the case of the blue boobies.
Oh. Was there a frostbite situation?
No. It was a live performance of Smurfs.
Okay.
And then, so it's a double entendre because she's dead, so she's turned blue, right? Okay.
Sure.
And then also she was in the Smurfs. Whoa! Hello! And she was the hot one, the blonde.
Smurfette.
Yeah, whatever you want. If there's a legal issue, you just call them Kansy Smurfs.
Uh-huh.
And then, and everything, they go, look at your Smurfs. Ooh, I'd like to Smurf your Smurfs. Woo woo. Arrrr. Right? Everyone's motorboating her. They're getting blue on her face. That's fun. That's a little break for the people, right? Like they're in. Here, follow me. They're doing. They're trying to find out. It's a whodunit. So they're interviewing different people, and every guy and girl that they interview's got a little blue on their nose
So this is
because they've been Brumskying her.
So this is a pitch for a live-action Smurfs.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, no. It's not a no. No, they're not Smurfs in real life. This ain't no science fiction, Jack. I'm trying to sell to the kids.
Okay.
No, this is they were in a performance of Smurfs.
I understand.
Right, so she's got to deal with theater people, and she's like, oh my God, I'm from the streets. I'm a Latino lady with a butt and cans. I don't have any time for this theater nonsense. And James Corden's in it, and they kill him right away. Real crowd pleaser. That's for the Brits. We throw them a bone. Overseas dollars, always thinking. Plus, the Japanese, they're into that Smurf stuff. Right?
Wait, James Corden has a wife?
Someone sent me a picture of James Corden on a European soccer show with a pint in front of him, and the captioning is like, "I'm just a guy sitting here talking about sports with my mates.
Jones.
I love
I'm
sports.
not
I'm a
skin and
man.
bones. In fact, I'm remarkably fat.
I love the theater and football. Those are my two passions. And lager.
And I'm rotund.
I love lager, not Pim cups, but lager."
Mexico, will they hold on to that 2-0 lead?
Oh God,
3
please.
points get you through as a third place team, potentially. Certainly 4 you think would do it. You never know.
You never know in the World Cup.
A game of 3 red cards, but crucially 2 goals for Mexico to get them off to a winning start. The first time they've ever won a World Cup opener. Quinones and then Jimenez. 3 points Mexico, none, and a heap of trouble for South Africa.
Yeah, 3 red cards in that match yesterday. A South African sub was sent off after a review for appearing to hit Alvarado in the face as they got tangled up. There was another red after a challenge on another South African player. So,
John, I'm sorry South Africa lost. I know you're a big fan. John's wearing his favorite Sun City sweatshirt right now. I'm sorry. He's got a picture of Mandela behind bars saying, keep it that way.
why wouldn't you play Sun City? I desperately want to play Sun City.
Well,
a lot of stars in that song.
In that status quo book. So Sun City was like they were doing like horrible racist stuff, and there was a uprising in the music industry about not playing in Sun City. And I was listening to that Status Quo guy's book, and he's like, you know, we'll play anywhere. We'll play Sun City. And it just happened to be terrible timing because everyone all of a sudden got very into not playing it.
Yeah.
So we're like, what? We'll play anywhere. Like he was blaming it on on the
snowflakes,
on little Steven or whoever put the Sun City not playing Sun City thing together. He's like, Sting played. Maybe he didn't, but that's what my recollection. But Status Quo did play Sun City, and he blames everyone but himself for that. All right, so when does the World Cup start here?
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Haiti and Scotland. Tomorrow night.
At 9 o'clock.
9 p.m. Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. Congratulations, Foxborough. You got that in your backyard now. So I'm sure that's exciting. Maybe you could rent out your house and get a house somewhere else for the summer, or at least for the month, because that sounds like that would be a huge pain in the ass. But that's happening here. We will be back in just a moment. Our friend Albert Breer will be joining us.
More.
won the Hart Trophy for NHL MVP last night. He narrowly beat out Connor McDavid for the award. David Pastrnak finished 6th. Red Sox had last night off. Sonny Gray will oppose the Texas Rangers at Fenway Park tonight. And the U.S. plays Paraguay tonight at SoFi Stadium in L.A. It is their first match at the World Cup. Yesterday, Mexico beat South Africa 2-0, and South Korea beat Czechia 2-1. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Mass DOT. Tomorrow's World Cup match will bring more people and traffic jams than ever before. So whether you're attending, commuting, or traveling, plan ahead and kick the drive. Visit mass.gov/World Cup for more info on how to get around during game days. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Diving effort. He's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the spot.
The Sports Hub.
My buddy.
With friends like these,
To climb up a tree.
you know.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now,
Me.
more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub.
The talent speaks for itself. You know, he can make any throw. But I think what's more impressive to me is that he knows what he's doing. To be that young and to understand the defense and to understand every little check, the hots, the blitz, and all those things so young and so fast, it's very impressive. And he's a true leader. He's a true leader of men.
A.J. Brown, and I believe he also had some backhanded negative things to say about Jalen Hurts yesterday by comparison of Drake May. We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Bert Breer is here from MMQB. John, I was in contact with John yesterday as I did go 82-0 on 82-0.
Bob Cousy is your point guard. You got
was
him
my
last,
first
right?
pick.
It was your first pick.
Yeah, because I saw the assist numbers and I was like, okay, I can only build from here.
Yeah.
So I think I figured out how to do it. I mean, it does take some luck. But yes, I had Kuzi, Doncic, Bird, Elvin Hayes, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And
Not bad.
Abdul-Jabbar from, his Milwaukee time.
Yeah.
So I had, that was an 82-0 team. And then I stopped.
Smart move.
Then I said, that's it.
Got nowhere to go but down.
Yeah, 82-0. It's 82.
Do I familiar with 82-0?
Because
What's that?
Do I have to? I've heard a lot about this. I have no idea what it is, but
So well, you should avoid it because
it sounds kind of addictive.
It is. It can
once you
be.
get 82-0, it's not that big a deal. But it's 82-0.com, and they have a football one, but it's not as good because it takes forever. But the basketball one, they give you a team and a decade, and then you pick the 5 positions on the court. And, once you pick a position, that's out, and you can't put anyone else on there. So you got to kind of be strategic with the positions that you pick right away and who you take. And you have to take rebounding and assists into consideration as well. It has to be a well-rounded team in some ways.
Do you have to, for the football one, for 20-0, do you have to pick 22 positions?
No, but you have to pick, what is it, John? 2 edge rushers.
I've
like
only done
2
it once,
linebackers.
and I quit halfway through, so you would know more than me.
Yeah, it's like
just
2 edge
taken
rushers,
forever.
2 line. I'm getting it wrong, but it's like a running back, if not 2 wide receivers, a quarterback, and then 2 edge rushers, 2 linebackers, and a corner or something, or a safety.
It took way too
So is it
long.
like a draft or
No, you are. You
I just
quote-
described it, you dope.
Why you didn't say how you were picking them though? You said what you had to pick, but you didn't like the process of actually picking them.
So you hit a button and it has a team and a decade, and then it will go team decade, and then it will give you a list of the players available and their position.
And
Some
you
are
pick whoever you
multi-position.
want.
Yes, but once that position is done, you can't pick that position again. So if you're down to just having the point guard position opened and you get Wilt Chamberlain when he was averaging 38 points a game, you can't take
I
Wilt
see.
Chamberlain.
Okay,
You have
so
to,
you just get a list and then
you're stuck with whatever point guard is left in that
But
situation.
strategy is factored in, and each time you play, it takes 3 minutes. I mean, it's just
not even. Yeah.
But I mean, the point is,
But
you
it's
can
fast
do it
enough
over.
that you just keep doing
Exactly.
it. And then before you know it, it's like 90 minutes later. And
Well, I don't know about that much, but the point is, it is a time killer if you hang in there.
no, it's like a good time killer. It doesn't seem completely bereft of thinking. Like it's something. I don't think it's like a waste. I mean, as these things go, I don't know if it's worse than watching intercourse. No, watching Instagram. Like I think it's better than watching Instagram.
That's true.
Well, you're using your brain a tiny bit, and if you're doing sports radio, at least it refreshes some of the things that you might have forgotten.
But yeah, it's a good way to use your time, and you should try that and 20-0. The real test will be if Bert can hang in there for the 20-0, 20-0.com.
I'll give it a shot.
All right, and you're going to be here for an hour, Bert. We got commercial breaks,
and that's too. It's like too difficult to understand what they're looking for. There's like it's like, do you want interceptions or tackles? It's like, what do you want?
Too much.
All right, so. Bert's, as you know, and we give him a hard time for, but he's not alone, obviously. College football is huge, and Bert's obviously very involved with Ohio State. But college football, you understood its popularity as a kind of how it was different from the NFL. But then NIL comes around, and you're like, okay, maybe the kids deserve it. But then it's like you can transfer whenever you want. And now it's like there's no rules.
Yep.
Because of the betting on your own team, which the quarterback at Texas Tech has admitted to. While he was on Indiana, he bet on Indiana football, which if you follow sports at all, you realize is like the death penalty. Like it's like you can't do that.
Rule number one of things you can't do.
It's anytime anyone goes, Pete Rose should be in, it's like, no, you can't do one thing. Like, you can't bet on your own team. Why? Because if the outcome of games ever seems in any way compromised or predetermined,
it becomes pro wrestling.
It becomes pointless to watch. If you believe the result of the game is compromised, it's why wouldn't I watch Seinfeld or a movie?
I made this point.
Much more entertaining, line by line, minute by minute, than a predetermined sporting event.
I made this point, like I liked pro wrestling when I was a kid, right? Like, so I would ask anybody, like, when you're 11, 12 years old, why do you stop watching it? You stop watching it. Most kids stop watching it because it's not real.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why most kids stop watching it. So to me, that's the best analogy you could make is if, like, now all of a sudden we think that there are people in Vegas controlling things, it's going to, it destroys the appeal of it. Like half of it, like no matter like whether or not you like the result on Wednesday night or not, the drama of that was incredible. And it was because it was organic and it's competition and like it compromises everything.
It's live competition. So now, in my opinion, I don't know really why you would have any interest in college football as compared to the NFL because it's a pro sports league with worse talent and no rules. At least in the NFL, you have to, if you sign a contract, you got to stick around.
Yeah.
Like you're at least stuck on the team for the length of the contract. If you want to get out, you better be pretty good and force your way out. And it's not in football. You just leave whenever you want. You can gamble on your own team. They're obviously not nearly as good as NFL players. It's way more diluted,
and the governing body of this sport is powerless to stop it. That's the other part of it.
And they're such idiots because they could have gotten in front of all of this 15 years ago when all of us knew that eventually this whole bubble is going to burst, and they didn't. And it's because of the guy who was in charge, whose name was Mark Emmert, who basically decided to run out the clock and quit right before NIL went in.
Right. Now Charlie Baker
and he
is
just
in
handed
big trouble.
Handed the problem to everybody else. It's I mean, for somebody who like loves college football and grew up with college football, and in other parts of the country it is massive, bigger than the NFL in some parts of the country. It's like this particular case, I don't know that people really understand the Pandora's box this is opening beyond just what you talked about, which is the gambling thing. I've heard some people say, like, all the rules are unenforceable. And and look, like, I think we can examine what court that was in and everything else and the politics involved there. But if this rule isn't enforceable that was so black and white, then which rules are enforceable? And I mean, what is stopping now? And this is where it could touch pro sports. say you have a 5th round pick, say the Patriots have a 6th round pick, and he goes through spring here and like, holy crap, I'm not going to play in the fall. And he still hasn't signed his contract yet. And he says, maybe I shouldn't sign my contract until I go through all of OTAs and go to minicamp. And then it's like, I'm not going to play this year. I might have trouble making the team. What's now stopping that guy from going and signing a multi-million-dollar contract to go back to college?
Right. It happened in basketball.
I was just going to say multiple basketball instances.
And that is like, I mean, the construction of American sports is on the line.
Well,
here.
and when they went back to basketball, he said, well, there's a judge, there's someone there's going to be able to stop that. It's like, how do you stop it? There are no rules anymore. There's no clear delineation between professional and amateur athletes when they're getting paid. So who's to say you can't jump from one level to another?
And this rule was so black and white. You know
well,
what I mean?
yeah, it's the rule in sports.
Right.
And Texas Tech came out, and the coach came out, and he said, this kid is going through rehabilitation. He didn't murder anyone. We allow forgiveness for other things. And you're like, oh, come on. Yeah. Stop with this, wordplay and trickery. Like, this is because of you love the kid so much. No. This is the one thing you can't do. And unfortunately, so here's the deal. As a society, obviously, we've grown to appreciate that people have faults and that people can do things and that it's more difficult for some people to not do things than others in terms of things that hurt themselves, okay? But there are still rules. Like, you can forgive an alcoholic for, and sympathize with their plight, but if they turn a car over at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on someone's lawn in a suburban neighborhood, you got to be punished for it. Like, because there is a difference between going, I understand you're an alcoholic, go get help. There's not a stigma around this. We understand the problem, and we understand that it's something that you can recover from, and you have my unwielding love and support. But also, you screwed up, and you broke a law, and you have to be punished for that. You can't, get in a car accident and hurt somebody drunk and go, I'm an alcoholic, and they go, okay. Well, as long as you admit it and go to rehab, then there's no problem. Now, 10, once you serve your time and get punished for your crime, then then it's up to the society to go, all right, this guy served a sentence. He's turned over a new leaf. He's doing these things. But there's still penalties for breaking the law. In this law, gambling on your own team in sports is really... He's like, he didn't murder anyone, and it's almost like in terms of sports, in terms of your well, it's worse.
Yeah,
for the sport,
it's an existential thing,
right? Well, yes, it's for the sport. If you murder someone off the field, that's obviously worse in society and worse in terms of reckoning with God, probably. But in terms of the way the sport is played, it's not even a factor. It's a PR thing at that point, and you're having horrible people play in your sport, but it's not as damaging to the sport, just the sport, as gambling on your own team is.
And you've got the 1919 White Sox, right?
Yep.
You've got Pete Rose. There are examples of it. The Boston College betting scandal from the 70s. There are so many different examples of it and how hard the leagues came down on it. And I think in each of those circumstances, 99% of the people on the outside agreed that's what they have to do, because that's about the existence of the sport, and the sport cannot exist without these rules being in place and these rules being enforced as harshly as possible. I don't know, and the NCAA is going to have to fight this. The other thing that got me here, though, and this just popped in my head when it first happened, when we first got the ruling on Monday. This is probably the first time that the NCAA wished that the players were unionized, because if the players are unionized, then the players had a say in the rules, and if the players have a say in the rules, I mean, this is like that 3-year rule, right? So the NFL, I think you guys all remember when we were growing up, everybody thought the first player who challenges the 3-year rule, the 3-year rule is going to be gone, right? That was always like whoever decides to take it to court, once they take it to court, it's over, and freshmen, sophomores are all going to be able to go into the NFL. And then Maurice Clarett from Ohio State and Mike Williams from USC did it in 2004, and they wind up losing the case. And the reason why was the court didn't want to interfere in a labor agreement. And the labor agreement was that players had to be 3 years out of high school. Said they have rules in place. The players agreed to them. We're not interfering. And if the players had agreed to the rules that the NCAA had put in here, the court would be powerless. The court would say, nope, we're not interfering in that. The reason that the court can interfere in it is because the players didn't agree to the rules.
Yeah. And so you're close to the Big Ten and like Ohio State and stuff. Are the teams mad? And the Big 12 is there's nothing they can do, but they're threatening not to play games, which is never going to happen. It's contracts and everything else.
It's the most Texas thing ever, the way this is being handled on all angles.
Yeah, I know. But what would if you were talking honestly to say like someone at Iowa, I will take Ohio State out of this. Someone at Iowa, and you said you had him on a lie detector, and you're like, what do you think about this kid from Texas Tech? Like, do you think most teams would let this kid play? No matter what, the injunction, by the way, isn't saying that the kid has the right to play necessarily. It's just saying we're not going to rule on it, and the kid only needs this short amount of time. So, what do you think other schools besides Texas Tech would let this kid play for them?
If I'm being honest about it, I think it's a certain class of school that would. I think there are certain schools that I don't think the Blue Bloods would. I think the Blue Bloods would cut them loose. And the reason why is because it's not some moral high ground. It's because they can, right? Like, it's because they're going to have another player like that. It's because this won't be the only opportunity that they have to compete for a national championship. And I think the spot that Texas Tech in is part of the whole thing. They have this huge money booster. His name's Cody Campbell. I don't know if you guys know. He's like the real life Buddy Garrity on a much higher level. Billionaire, got really rich in oil. He was a teammate at Texas Tech of Wes Welker and Cliff Kingsbury and all of those guys. Wound up playing briefly in the NFL. He has just poured a ton of money into the program, and last year they became a playoff team. Yeah. They had the number 2 pick in the draft, right? David Bailey, who went to the Jets. They basically bought him from Stanford, Right. So they've gone out and they've been able to put their program on a higher pedestal, and they've really built a lot of momentum, and now it's like, this is our chance to compete for a championship. And so they go and get Brendan Sorsby. And they feel like they're right now on the precipice of really competing. If you're on that level every year, you don't need to do that, right? But if you feel like this is the one uptick where you've got a chance to establish yourself as one of those programs, and if it doesn't work, then you're right back to where you began, then I think that's they're like kind of like it's like a perfect storm type of situation.
Right. And I know that there's no standard and people don't care as long as you do well, and that there's really no morality involved in much anymore. But is there a price to pay if you're Texas Tech and you let this kid play this year in terms of your legitimacy as a program? You mentioned that they have a lot of money, but is there something that's like a downside?
No, because I think they are what they are. I think everybody's sort of seen them this way. It's the same thing as like Texas A&M was spending this. Old Miss, I think, has always been this way. I'm just thinking of a few programs that have been that way where they're not quite blue bloods, but they really want to be.
But you're more than conceivably more than a football team. What's the student body at Texas Tech? How many kids are actively in school there? I mean, I would imagine tens of thousands. So, what about I don't know, being a college? Is there any thought at all into I don't know?
You know what's funny
the future
about this,
of this school?
There's only 42,000 students at Texas.
A lot of these,
you figure that you're only rifling through about 160,000 people, every 4 years. You might as well. What's there to think about? I mean you got to let this one kid play football.
The funny thing is, though, is like being great at football has made a lot of these schools better.
I understand that, Bert, but there has to be like a line of delineation where you
where it's like it's too much.
Where it's like just too much. like all right, like
it might be time to separate them entirely.
Right. So like the SEC has become a big destination for like civilian students, right? Like non-athletic students from the Northeast. But I would have to think that, like, I don't know if all these kids are going to LSU. Like, they're going to, like, Georgia, even Alabama now, which my friend with a GED from Milwaukee, who's in his 40s, got into Alabama with a GED from Milwaukee because they were so desperate for an out-of-state kid. And now that's all changed.
I got into Ohio State.
And that's all changed, and those schools are much more difficult to get into now, as Hardy can attest about Ohio State. Like, it's just weird that Ohio State's, like, kind of hard out-of-state to get into now. But... So I understand that that's a lot to do with the football. I understand the value of a football program. I'm not a complete idiot, and I'm also not an academic.
But maybe it's time to dispense with the charade of these being student athletes. Just turn it into a minor league program for the NFL, and you can still have your attachment to the school.
It's just that if I was...
That's already sort of... it's organically happened.
But if I was sending my kid to a big school and they were wanting to go somewhere dumb like Texas Tech... I mean, I would pick another dumb school that didn't have the gambler on their own team. Like, it just seems unseemly. Not that the kid's playing or the kid, just that the institution has so like no morals in itself. Yeah, is just so willing to just compromise, just openly holds itself to no standard. It's like incredibly unseemly.
I mean, and then on the other side of it, you have television networks that are paying like a massive, massive price and helping to fund all of this.
I understand that, but if this kid doesn't play, you're still Texas Tech and you still have a football program and you still have all that money.
What you're saying is, where do you draw the line? And like,
yes, and is there a line ever for these schools? Like, is there any pride or like pride in yourself, pride in your program, pride in yourself as your institution,
and not becoming a caricature of big time football?
You just mentioned a corny movie. You said this guy is the real life
Buddy Garrity.
Like the corny
Friday Night Lights,
like the corny in this show car salesman.
Yeah,
that funds the program. He's a caricature of a bumpkin that has made a false sense of self-esteem.
Is tied up in like a bunch of kids playing football,
and is tied up in a bunch of kids, and he's like almost like a tragic character on the show, which he becomes, and so you like are supposed to feel sorry for him. So now you're like, he's a real life tragic dumb character that to be mocked and laughed at on a show. Like they're just at some point, these schools have to say, all right, well, this is too much, maybe, even for us.
It's like that scene in the program. Do you guys remember when the coach, who was the guy?
James Caan.
James Caan played the coach, right? Mm-hmm. So it's Coach Winters. And, like, his, that thing, his daughter was got thrown out of school for cheating on the test for the backup quarterback, and so the backup quarterback got thrown out of school.
Right.
Then the starting quarterback had to go to rehab.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Coach Winters is in front of the academics,
and he has to eat crap to get his backup quarterback on the team again.
What does he have to do?
And then the academics, but you saw like in that scene, the academics and the coach are. Like they're fighting over it, and
right. He just wanted the backup quarterback until the guy got back from rehab. I remember that.
And Coach Winters' line was, like, he gets all like worked up, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, "When was the last time you saw 80,000 people show up to take a damn math test?"
That's right.
And that's like, and that's the tension of like a lot. That's been forever the tension in a lot of these schools, but the money's gotten so big that I almost feel like the academics, like which is what you're talking about, Fred, have waved the white flag at all of it.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still a academic institution, and you still have to at least publicly facing have some sort of standard. Pride.
Right.
Just human pride. Pride in your institution. That's all you need.
Oh.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment with more from Bert Breer.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
important thing is that we're on the same page, which we are.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Bert Breer from MMQB is here. Christian Gonzalez, you just heard Mike Vrabel being asked about him. What are you hearing about the cornerback market and the Christian Gonzalez situation, Mr. Breer?
Yeah, I think you have to look at the jumps at other positions and kind of projecting where this is going to go. And generally they've happened in $5 million increments of late. So, Justin Jefferson at the receiver position, this would have been in 2024, June of 2024. It was under $30 million per year. He got it all the way up to 35. CeeDee Lamb got 34. And then less than a year after that, in fact, I think it was 9 months after that, Jamar Chase bumped it up to 40. And now we've seen it settle at 40. Edge rushers, same thing. This happened even faster at those positions where you had Nick Bosa at 35, then Myles Garrett, and this would have been in March of 25, got 40. Then 6 months after that, Micah Parsons got 46 after he was traded. Aiden Hutchinson got 45. And now, a couple months ago, Will Anderson got 50. So, these things have jumped like that. And there has to be a recognition that this can't just be a marginal, nominal increase over what the top of the market was. So I think that's the first part of it. I think the second complicating factor for the Patriots here, it's not just that Devin Witherspoon has the same agent. It's that Devin Witherspoon's a teammate of Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Jackson Smith-Njigba just got over 40. Those two, JSN and Witherspoon, were drafted together, both in the first round for Seattle 3 years ago. And they both played major roles in the Super Bowl champion. In fact, I think Witherspoon could argue that he was the better player in the Super Bowl. He was very, very valuable to them in the Super Bowl. So Witherspoon may be saying to Seattle, you don't need to get me all the way to $41.25 million per year, which is what JSN got, but you got to get me pretty close.
Didn't he get stabbed in the offseason?
Who?
Was the guy you were just talking about?
Witherspoon?
No, with a knife.
Huh?
Oh, man.
His name's Witherspoon.
You see,
yeah,
all of it, I gotten by that during the hockey season because there was a gentleman who played for the Bruins with a similar name. And after watching what Hardy was doing, I was like, oh, he's going to get him. And he got him.
Yeah.
And this is, you just made his
sit
day.
there and take it, stupid.
Yeah. Just made his
you've
day.
been had.
Made his day.
I'm going to be honest. You just ruined my weekend. I'm going to be thinking
Yeah,
about
that's
that
the
till
idea. That's the
Monday
idea.
morning, yeah.
Let that sink in, stupid.
Mission accomplished. So the fact that they're
Nice Ohio State education you got there. You just got had by a Michigan State kid.
Yeah, right. Yes, the teammate thing is important. The fact that they share an agent, though,
It's important, yeah. No.
To me, that's the number one. It's like, hey,
sure.
I got this guy over here. We got to make this right.
Who wants to go first?
Right.
And I think that piece of it. So, look, I think the easy thing to do, and I think what people want to do is they want to say, okay, Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley both got 30. Trent McDuffie got 31. Witherspoon and Gonzalez should get 32. It doesn't generally work that way. These guys are young, and these guys are coming off of their third year. And so I think the number you're looking for is 35. And actually, if you do it now, in real dollars, that only winds up being 26 or 27 because you're folding the two existing years of the deal in.
Fair enough, but you left out one position when you were going through all of that, and that's quarterback. And Drake May is up for an extension a year from now, and I just saw Patrick Mahomes just redid his contract with Kansas City. It's going to pay him $64 million a year.
That's not in new money either. That's total.
But the point is, it's an average annual value that's out there.
Yeah.
And with May coming up in a year, does he go and try and come in over that, or because he's not the quarterback, Mahomes under that?
Well, he's in a similar situation to these two corners in that you're going to have two other quarterbacks at least that are going to be in play.
Lamar and
No.
Lamar.
Well,
who else?
Lamar's in play now. Lamar, I think, could get done before.
But there are other.
season.
I understand there are other
I'm saying
quarterbacks.
his draft class, like Caleb
Okay.
Williams,
fair
and Jaden Daniels, both could wind up getting new contracts as well. And so,
If
we
you're the
could have
Patriots,
that.
do you go before those guys?
And
or?
that's the thing is, like, you could wind up in this same game of like contractual chicken, where it's like whoever goes first sets the floor for the other guys, and so. And again, these things happen in $5 million increments. So it's hard to compare like the Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes contracts with anything else because those guys already had massive deals. And basically what the teams are doing is giving them corrections. Like the Chiefs situation, quite honestly, like, and I've talked to Chiefs people about this the last couple of years. They learned from what happened with the Patriots and Tom Brady, what happened with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, what happened with the Texans and Deshaun Watson. And they basically made the decision, like, we are not going to let it come to that.
It's served as a cautionary tale. Like,
Yeah.
you know, as soon as you think you're going to have to move on from your guy at quarterback,
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Let him play as long as he wants, because the last thing you want is for him to go to another team and win a Super Bowl with his first shot. I mean,
and not only that, like, but also, like, make sure, like, he feels appreciated.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, that was a huge part of it with Brady, with Rodgers. Like, those guys got to a point where they didn't feel appreciated anymore. And that's something that is in play with someone like May or Caleb, or like if you're setting a poor tone from a negotiation standpoint, that's something that can metastasize over time. Like, part of Brady's frustration is that, like, he got sick of being treated like he was the 30th guy in the roster. It was like, yeah, that was cute when I was 25, but now I'm 38 years old and I've won all these Super Bowls. Why are you still subjecting me to all of that? So the Chiefs basically made the conscious decision. We are going to make sure that never happens with us. And that doesn't mean he's never going to play for another team or anything else, but we're going to make sure that, like, his happiness is not a factor. You know, he's going to feel appreciated here for everything that he's done. The Bills have done the same thing with Josh Allen. And so, you know, now I think you're sort of at that first point with Drake where you want to make him feel like he's almost like he's a partner, because that's what the Chiefs are doing with Mahomes. That's what, again, the Bills are doing with Allen, what the Bengals have done with Burrow. You know, it's like just making the guy feel like he's not a part of management, but is like somebody who you're not going to have issues with him.
All right. Well, listen, it's a bold move. Kansas
Like 70
City
wouldn't be a surprise, by the way, just to put a bow on that.
70
for May wouldn't be a surprise.
All right.
Like, because if you think about it this way, okay, so Patrick Mahomes' number is 64.
Yep.
But if you actually look like what the new money average is,
it's like over 100, right?
Over 100,
yeah.
right? Like, so, like, it's a different thing because it's a longer contract, so they're not analogous to each other. But, and Josh Allen was the same thing. Like, the new money analysis was like 100. All right, so you take those two. Lamar's got 2 years left, so it's going to be more conventional. I would think Lamar will get at least 65 if he goes now, because remember, the Dak deal is 60, and that deal is now almost 2 years old. So,
well, gee, you
seems
can't factor in
impossible.
Jerry Jones because he waits. He
Right.
waits longer than any other executive would.
I'm just telling you, like, I would be surprised if it's not 70, like, by next spring. And look, like, if you want to look across sports, that's what the top NBA players are getting, right?
They are they, Jonathan?
They're up there. I don't know, 70. I think it might be
SGA was
under
like
that,
70
but
or
it's
75.
these guys that have been in the league forever, like the Kevin Durant's and LeBron Jameses. They're getting something close to that. I don't think it's 70, but it's close.
Well, how does this 70 then affect how the Patriots do business outside of that?
Well, your salary cap's $300 million now, so I don't know. I think the cap's going to keep going up. They're going to do new television deals. It sounds like a lot, but the way these things generally age, I mean, look, like 50 was a lot when and I can't remember who the first one to get it was, but it's something like where you're not gonna find yourself a bargain by waiting.
Top NBA salary, Steph Curry, 59. at this moment.
You had
as we
$10 million
sit
to
here.
that. You got that sexual position that you're such a big fan of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar.
The 69.
What is that?
Head down here, head up here.
Does it work?
Mutual satisfaction.
Does it work though?
If you don't mind where your nose goes. You know? Some people like that, John being one. Some will worship it.
Albert Breer is here.
Yes, he is.
Talking.
All right, so we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines.
Patriots closed down mandatory minicamp yesterday in Foxborough. Harold Landry, Morgan Moses, unsigned rookie Gabe Atkinson full.
Yeah, I'm surrounded by a lot of Tennessee coaches and a couple of Tennessee players. So, yeah, walking in the building feels pretty good. Yeah.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Bert Breer is here, senior NFL reporter and lead content strategist with the MMQB. Hello, Bert, as you stay here for your last segment. All right, A.J. Brown is in camp. So what are you hearing from Philadelphia, and what are you hearing about A.J. Brown's addition now that he's actually on the team?
Well, I think, I actually feel like talking to Eagles people, AJ had his problems there, but he's very well liked, and I think I've said this to you guys before, probably more well liked in that building than Jalen Hurts was or is. And I think he fills a need that, you created in letting Steph Diggs go, and the way you've constructed the receiver room now, I don't think Romeo Doubs was ever equipped to be a number one receiver. In fact, if you look at the way the Packers put their team together, they paid Christian Watson, they paid Jaden Reed, they let Romeo Doubs go, they traded Dontavian Wicks. So they had 4 young receivers in their receiver room. They chose to pay 2 of them. They chose to let two of them go, and one of them is the guy who's here now. So I think it's sort of constructed in a way where there was a hole for the number one guy. And I think the early signs that you see of Drake and A.J. Brown working together are good, and that they're building the chemistry already. And, certainly I think that that's going to be an important piece based on the sort of player that A.J. Brown is.
Any of the comments that A.J. Brown has made, and I think we can listen to one right here.
After having worked with him for 3 days here at minicamp, is he, what you thought before you got here in terms of what you'd seen on tape?
Yeah, he's most definitely, man. I was just bragging on him, talking him up. I said, hey, man, you like that. You can make any throw. I just want him to be confident. I was kind of pushing him today. I told him, I want you to be perfect today. He was like, let's be perfect. I said, don't worry about anybody else. Just focus on yourself. You be perfect. You're going to raise that standard, and everybody else will follow. So just trying to just poke at him a little bit, see how far you go, But he's a great player, and I'm excited for the season.
And he went on and talking about how he sees the field so well and how he can, read the defenses and how he's picking up on all this stuff. Do you look at any of that as maybe pointed in another direction?
I think you could pick the things he says apart and find stuff, yes. And I think that there is a little residue there. And look, I'm sure it was a frustrating offseason for him, and knowing that because of the Eagles cap situation that, he was going to have to eat it for a couple months and keep his mouth shut and work on his own and know where he's going, but not 100% know where he's going. So maybe he's letting some of that go. But some of the things that he said about Drake knowing what he's doing and seeing the field and all of that different stuff, whether it's fair or not, I think you can certainly pick it apart and find some stuff that seems like it's pointed at the problems that he had with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it just so much of that came out after the fact, and it was, from my understanding, more of I guess taking the easy way out in terms of analyzing the situation. Oh, it's a wide receiver who's not happy, is not getting enough touches. Mm-hmm. Come to find out from talking with you and people who are there in Philadelphia, it's like, oh no, it's a lot about Hurts too, and the way he carries himself and the way he's viewed, not just by A.J. Brown but other people in that locker room.
I don't know if you guys have heard the whole thing about some people derisively there calling him Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes, we talked with someone in Philadelphia about that, and I'm like, oh. And then he took it literally. He's like, yeah, I like that. I'm Jordan.
So after the Super Bowl, and I like Jalen Hurts. He's seems like a good guy to me and all of that. But I remember after they won the Super Bowl, I took a picture. There was the locker room, and then there's this little hallway, right? And kind of dimly lit little hallway. And so, like, I'm walking through, and I'm going from the locker room where the players are over to, like, walking over towards, like, where Sirianni's office is. And so I walk by that little hallway, and there's Hurts, and he's got, like, a towel over his head, and he's sitting in, like, the Lombardi trophy is right there on the floor. And so I took a picture of it, and the picture went viral and everything else. And I remember getting some feedback from some people on that. It's like, oh, yeah, that's Jalen. It was like he was creating his moment. You know, like Jordan, if you remember, I think the first time he won the title, or maybe it wasn't the first one, but there's that iconic photo of Jordan holding the
Like hugging it.
That's the first
that
one.
might be actually after his dad died, right? Like where he's hugging the Larry O'Brien.
The one with the trophy on his head is when he up against his head is when he won his first one. There was another one where he was crying on the floor afterwards. That's after his dad died.
Okay, so but there was the one where he's hugging the trophy.
That's the first one. Yeah.
And what everyone thought with the picture, like some of the people in Philly that I know thought when they saw the picture that I posted was he's trying to
create his Jordan moment.
Right.
Got it.
Right. So
there's like a lot of that stuff that I think wore people there out.
So if you put him on a lie detector test, he would tell you that he's at the level of Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like he just carries himself that way, and again, it just wears people out. You know, like that. Just is it an act? Is it not an act? And there was like a little bit of like, you know, when he was younger, people thought he was stoic. It's like, oh no, is he just kind of an a-hole? Like there was like that sort of thing. And look, like I think he's competitive as hell. Like he's fought through a lot. Like they replaced him at Alabama. You guys remember that? Like, so like he does have a good story to tell, and he's accomplished a lot, and he's played really well. Like say what you will, and he's not the most consistent quarterback. Like I don't think I'd put him I wouldn't put him in my top 7 or 8 quarterbacks in the league right now based on how he plays in the regular season. But on the biggest stages, he's played really, really well. That's for sure.
All right. Well, Bert Breer, I heard just briefly that you're traveling somewhere 2 hours away, so good luck with that.
Yep.
And then we will look to see you next week as this summer continues. Enjoy your week. We will be back in just a moment with our news segment.
The Celtics, the Pats, the Revolution. This is Boston's home for sports. WBC-FM at HD Boston. 98.5 The Sports Hub. A Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Patriots finished up mandatory minicamp yesterday in Foxborough with once again Harold Landry, Morgan Moses, and unsigned second-round draft pick Gabe Akis missing. Fullback Jack Westover also absent for the first time. And because the team was back to competitive work, Christian Gonzalez stayed off to the side along with wideout Kayshon Boutte. A.J. Brown caught a couple of touchdown passes from Drake May during some red zone work and said afterwards he's going to see him again before training camp.
Yeah, that's the plan, to try to find some time to try to build more and more. Obviously we're going to talk and do all those things, but most importantly we got to continue to try to perfect that craft. So
first camp practice for the Patriots 10:30 in the morning, July 25th, 6 weeks from tomorrow. Carolina got a pair of goals from Andrei Svechnikov. They beat Las Vegas 4-2 in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. They lead 3-2. Bruins have reportedly hired Matt McIlvain as their new assistant coach. He was working as the head coach at the top minor league affiliate in Anaheim. Red Sox had last night off. Sonny Gray faces Texas tonight at Fenway Park. U.S. plays Paraguay at SoFi Stadium in L.A. in the first match at the World Cup tonight. Yesterday, Mexico opened up the event with a 2-0 win over South Africa. Last night, South Korea beat Czechia by a score of 2-1. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. If your home or business has a plumbing, HVAC, electrical, or drain issue that can't wait, you need to call 128 now at 888-CALL-128. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Coaching the game, or it's just that is. I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports.
And now back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. I can't use it. Newsflash.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy, and Hardy, you can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, and we have some stuff for you here, some news.
That's right, Fred. We first go to CBS News for this story, and it's a delightful accent. Sounds almost European in nature, I think, maybe where this derived from. Yeah, we have to go to the far reaches of the globe for something that is both ancient and now current.
All right, here we go.
Well, scientists in Italy have discovered yeast growing in the guts of Europe's oldest mummy.
A bit more, please.
Yes, okay. Something's dead and something's growing in its stomach. When's it come out? Okay. I see. Old guy in a bed. This relates to you.
Oh, is this the reemergence of our latest character on the show, old man, that man who has just been gifted an old man?
Yeah.
Guy who has just been gifted an old man guy. That's the character.
Yeah.
I got this for you. He's an old man.
Yes, I'm growing bread in his stomach. You know?
This is a very old man that we're talking about here.
Yeah, I'm using him as a bread baking oven. You know?
I can't believe what I've always wanted.
Yes, thank you. I'll take care of him. Yes, yes.
Wink, wink.
Oh, he'll get bed sores if he's not rolled over? Oh. Okay. So what, like every 4 weeks, just give him a little roll? Everything's shifted to one side on him. Get up. You can't, can you? All right. I'll come back a couple days, see how you're doing.
Well, scientists in Italy have discovered yeast growing in the guts of Europe's oldest mummy. And they've risen to the occasion, using it to make what they claim was very good sourdough.
Sourdough.
It says sourdough, yes, or sourdough, as we would say in English, or American English anyway. Yes, the yeast growing inside the mummy they're using to make sourdough bread.
So they uncovered an ancient mummy.
Yes.
And they did some scientific, they poked around.
Yes.
They saw the yeast growing and they said, let's use this to make something to eat.
Very good sourdough.
Not just something to eat, very good sourdough. People are very precious about their sourdough starters. Do you know anyone like this?
No.
This is a thing. When people have their yeast that they cultivate and they use it to make their own bread, and it's a source of a lot of conversation among domestic people who like to bake and make their own things.
I'm not positive how much I have sourdough bread.
I don't like it that much. I would never go out of my way to make my own, nor would I get off on my sourdough starter, but this is a big thing for people.
Okay. How do you make, what's the difference between sourdough and regular bread?
Please don't insult me with a question like that.
Do you have to cut open people to make it anytime you make it? Like if I'm offered sourdough bread, is it from a dead body?
Okay, if you're going to continue to insult my lack of intelligence, I guess that's one way of making it. I don't know. I don't know why anyone would do it.
What if they're almost dead? Just might as well be dead, in my opinion. Can you rip them open and get some stuff out and make bread?
Maybe.
And they've risen to the occasion, using it to make what they claim was very good sourdough. Otzi the Iceman, a preserved corpse over 5,000 years old.
It's fun. Otzi the Iceman. Let's start screwing around with his dead body. Let's really tempt fate. See if we can't anger God. By poking around at this thing. He was just minding his own business getting mummified, and we just decided to dig him up and start playing
Can you
around.
snap off one of his fingers and make a swizzle stick? Let's have some fun.
Oh, hi, God. Yeah, we're just taking up things now and poking around and making food out of him. We're making sweet bread out of his teeth.
Research on the mummy remains and stomach contents have been ongoing since then. But this latest analysis took scientists by surprise.
Scientists, Sodbed. What country is this
I
from?
don't know. It's CBS UK.
It's almost like saying interview instead of interview.
They managed to cultivate 4 cold-resistant types of yeast, with samples taken from the mummy's skin as well as thawed water inside him.
And by water, you know what they mean. Sweet, sweet urine. Frozen urine. Homemade popsicle.
And apparently...
You're going to be a mummy soon, lady, with that breath. The female Joe Murray.
And apparently they could be just the right kind for baking bread. When scientists used it to make sourdough, they found it was, quote, very, very good.
Yes, the Dahmer family.
Well, they really sent out their best investigative reporters for this. Very, very good. Use that quote in the piece. Yes, excellent.
So they opened up they started poking around. They opened it up. They were scientists. They found yeast, and they said, "Oh, the discovery we'll make here is that we'll make bread out of it."
We'll make bread out of it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is like actually disturbing.
Not just bread, but
quote, very, very good.
Bread.
Yeah, very, very good bread.
Sourdough.
Very good sourdough.
Well, how much of that is the recipe, and how much of that is just the cook? Let's not give the cook any hard time.
And it gets better. These yeasts could be even cultivated for making beer in the future.
That is better. Everyone enjoys beer, and everyone enjoys dead bodies.
Well, Fred, I'm afraid you've tipped your hand a little bit by mentioning the liquids that were inside the mummy, because this next story from Pensacola, of all places, relates to that very, very topic. And a woman who is in a bit of trouble for some things that happened at various Airbnbs.
All right.
A Pensacola woman accused of urinating on Airbnb property is back in jail tonight.
Oh, Hildegard, yeah. Hildegard, the old Airbnb bandit. I'm listening to this Miles Davis book, and there's this Charlie Parker is getting crap from one of the club owners. So in response, Miles Davis is very happy for him. He goes out into a phone booth in the lobby and urinates all over it. And it was a lot of urine, he says. Not a little bit. A lot of urine.
Right.
A Pensacola woman accused of urinating on Airbnb property is back in jail tonight as more rental property owners are coming forward saying they are victims. Nicolette Keogh is...
Or actually recipients of a great prize. This Airbnb located under the rainbow where a pot of gold was found.
Nicolette Keogh is accused of taking videos of herself urinating on furniture, appliances, and bedding and posting it to adult content websites to make money.
Okay, yep. What? That's pretty vague.
What websites?
Yeah. Now I got to just, Google Airbnb P? You know, a million things are going to come up. A lot of red herrings, too. Oh, geez, Louise.
I want you to look at a photo of Nicolette Keogh in one of her booking photos. Not unattractive, number one, and quite happy about the situation that she's in.
Yeah,
that's like, you know, the eye smile. You know, you can kind of do the grin where you're faking it. No, she's happy.
I mean,
be
she
there.
could be a mom at Natick kindergarten soccer.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if people ain't paying to see ugly people pee. The whole peeing on furniture thing is really just the elites, physical elites. They don't just pay some schlub to pee on stuff. If I want to see people pee on an Airbnb sofa, they got to be at least a 7. That's the baseline.
According to the court documents, the damaged properties, and we'll get to some of these in the story, include an antique Crown Royal chair, a rug, a typewriter.
Oh, that's Lombardi. Actually asked for that.
4 dining chairs, a coffee maker, a bed, a television set, a record player, a toaster, and an electric fireplace.
Oh, wow. Well, some of these things could have been in an Airbnb in the 1800s, the phonograph and things.
Something tells me these were specific requests. Dear Nicolette, how much to pee on a coffee maker?
No,
but I do it on the typewriter.
Yeah, exactly. You got to pee on Rush 2112 being played at 45 RPMs, not 33.
And posting it to adult content websites to make money.
And with these latest charges, she's now in jail without bond.
Oh, jeez.
That's not right.
She can't bail herself out because she peed on stuff? As opposed to the jails where there's no pee anywhere. It's like, it's a Tijuana show. She actually does the first page of The Great Gatsby just through her urine. You're like, what is she doing? And then she pulls the paper out and she hands it to the audience.
Yeah, right.
Keogh's bond was revoked because of a previous battery charge. That was learned in court today. Pensacola police say more charges could be coming if more homeowners come forward.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. All urine. That's a Bugs Bunny about that too. Remember when the frog could pee on the frog could pee on the typewriter and make it right, and then the guy was booked the theater to have the frog pee on the typewriter, and then it wouldn't do it. It just went ribbit.
Michigan J. Frog.
Yeah, it just went ribbit.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Yeah, well, that was that one. But then there was a guy down the street that had one that could pee on a typewriter and make it put out great works of literature.
Nicolette Keogh's story has gone viral across the world.
This is a different one, yeah.
Pensacola police officer Mike Wood says they arrested Keogh again on Wednesday after another homeowner came forward. Keogh was first arrested in March after a homeowner claims she filmed herself urinating on the furniture inside 2 Pensacola Airbnbs. Police claim she caused more than $5,000 in damage.
Just turn the cushion over. Big deal. A record player, I mean, that at most, if even that's a Techniques $400 record player.
Not anymore. Those things are tough to find.
You can buy a turntable, believe me.
But if you want the old school techniques, though.
Well, I mean, that's on your. Then you don't have that sitting on your Airbnb where people can pee on it. So you know the story. I don't know if it's worth telling again, but my friend in Atlanta was splitting his time between New York City and Atlanta, and he he rented out his condo. And I told you about the guy that rented it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He was running a very graphic gay porn site out of the condo.
Yes.
And wanted to fight him on kicking him out, too. He's like, what? And he's like, oh, no. You're filming very graphic porn in here. And the guy was like mad at him. And he was large, a large man. Yeah, he was fighting him, but he got him out. Then he had to rip the carpets out and paint the walls and have someone come in.
Was it a subsidiary of bum fights? Was it bear fights?
No, it was a gay black man, probably about 6'2", 250, all muscle. And he was the dominant one.
You don't say.
Yeah, but he would really get into it. There was some stuff that seemed very uncomfortable.
Huh.
And I don't know how it came. Oh, the neighbors were like, he's up to something. And then one of the neighbors like sent him and he's like, that's my place. Like, that is my place.
See, this is the thing that I question too. The owner of one of these Airbnbs then discovered videos posted online by an adult website depicting a woman urinating on objects in an Airbnb rental. How did you stumble upon these things? These are not easy to find.
No, of course they're easy to find. And I'll tell you, it's like when you go see Black Mass or something, you're like, hey, that's my neighborhood. Like when you see some Whitey Bulger movie, and you're like, they filmed that here.
Yeah.
Or some rom-com, you're like, oh, wow, that's Newberry Street. That's what you think when you're looking at P videos. You go, wait a second, that's my place.
That's my electric fireplace.
That's my toaster. No wonder the toast has been so good. You know what? That's like the toast we made out of that dead guy's body.
This time, the arrest report states she urinated on a leather sofa, multiple luxury mattresses, and a chair at a different rental on Riddick Street. The homeowner told police the damage was $17,395. If you put all the reported crimes together, police say Keogh's urine caused $22,750
in profit.
In damage.
This has been going on for several months, involving several different properties. And with this latest arrest, there's one more, and we do believe that there's going to be more than that.
Keogh appeared in the Escambia County Video Court to face charges of criminal mischief and felony property damage. She's being held in jail without bond.
That's what's concerning to me, is that it's without bond. That they're even like murderers get like $1 million bond. Like, there's a way to bond out on a lot, like most crimes. Very rare, it would seem, that you would be held without bond.
Right.
Pensacola police say social media companies should not allow users to profit off of actions like this.
Oh, well, it's just become Nazi Germany then. Yeah.
I thought we were living in a capitalist society.
Yeah, like our totalitarian rulers just want to keep us under their thumbs, huh? Social media companies, you don't bother with these people. Don't listen to them.
Social media platforms, even adult sites, have rules. And if they had a rule that something like this was not permitted, that would help a lot, because then people are not able to make money doing this type of thing. And hopefully that would put a stop to this. But right now, some of these sites are permitting this sort of thing. And these people are making money, and that's the problem.
Yeah, and they're called heroes.
Yeah, but you think they should continue to permit the instruction of a stepson in the ways of lovemaking?
That's the least of people's worries now. The stepsons thing has just become just part of the culture.
It's practically part of the zeitgeist. Teaching my stepson.
Yeah. Or you walk in on the stepson, and there's all kinds of situations going. But he's always home from college.
It's a POV thing usually.
Not usually.
It is.
Not usual. Oh, when they're caught.
Yes.
Oftentimes it's
yes,
POV.
when they're caught. Yeah. Yes.
When they're caught, right. And then there's that uncomfortable dialogue.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't get there. I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to move on to something else. I went completely based on the beauty of the woman in the little thumbnail, and now you've got me in this whole scenario that I can't get behind. First of all, I can't relate because I'm long out of college. Almost 30 years I've been out of college. So, I mean, you want me to get back to 30 years ago and like, or when I was, now I got to pretend it's 30 years ago to enjoy pornography?
Can't do it.
I don't want that. Please have two people in their 50s. That's how you sell it. Two people in their 50s just having a real basic time.
Maybe enjoying a meal, and then 2 hours later, once your stomach is settled, then you get after it for 4 or 5 minutes.
Or maybe making the business decision to have it before dinner so no one's overly full.
That's the veteran move right
there.
there.
You know you'll get tired after
yes,
dinner.
Yes.
So you schedule it, because very important to schedule it.
That's hot.
And kind of both begrudgingly accept that you're going to do it right before dinner, before you leave for dinner. Once the ruse of the spontaneity of it has worn off, you can get to your mechanical lovemaking.
The cozy calendar served a purpose. It did.
When you got little kids, you got a family calendar that the kids can't access.
That's
you
right.
Put time in the bone zone, or you ain't going to have it. And that, my friends, is when the real magic happens. Like, all right, it's 5 o'clock or 2:30 on a Wednesday, and the kids aren't home. All right, let's go do what we normally do. See if we can't get this over with and chalk it up off the to-do list for the day. Thank you so much. All right, we'll be back. Our friend Catherine Tappan will be joining us. People ain't paying to see ugly people pee.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
USA fans, this one's for you. FanDuel. Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Our friend Catherine Tappan. Last time we talked to her, she was over there at the Olympics, and now she is covering the Stanley Cup Final for the NHL Network. Catherine, hello.
Hello. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, Catherine.
We are well. It's
Hi.
nice to talk to you. So
You as well.
This has been very enjoyable. Now, do you prefer? What are your feelings on the pomp and circumstance around the Vegas Knights games? Are you a fan of the medieval wizardry and things that they do before the games?
Did you play Dungeons and Dragons as a kid?
Yeah, I did not, but I love it. I mean,
John did.
we were actually talking about it last night because the atmosphere in both places is so awesome, but it could not be more vastly different. You've kind of got this college football feel. I was actually joking last night because Carolina here at Lenovo Center, they play old school hip hop and rap, which is like right up my alley. And then you go out to Vegas and there's like light show and EDM, like all this craziness and people flying around and, it's like Cirque du Soleil all the time. And it's just a totally different vibe, but it's awesome. I mean, both atmospheres have been great. Both fan bases are great. But yeah, Vegas is just a different level in general. I mean, you land there and you just take a deep breath like, okay, I can do this. Brace yourself.
I've seen games in both places, Catherine, and it was a long time ago for the Hurricanes one, so I was not impressed when I kept hearing about what the atmosphere was like there because it had been a while, and I was told, oh no, you're dead wrong. It is no longer a 50-50 crowd of transplants living in the Raleigh area. This is now a Hurricanes fan base, and they are loud and they are into it. But you're right, the Golden Knights atmosphere there, it's a show. And as much as it is about the show and the pregame and all the production they put into it, what I find remarkable is that this team has come around from being a really middling, or as I described them, a dead-ass team in the middle of the season to this run that they went on. How much of it do you put, I guess, with the arrival of Tortorella as the coach, or maybe just the good players that they already had deciding, oh, we can actually play a lot better brand of hockey than what we've been playing for almost the entirety of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would give Torts credit, but at the same time, he came in so late. I mean, there were only about 8 games left in the regular season, and Bruce Cassidy, as you guys know, I mean, he's an excellent coach, and at some point, things had to change there, and he was the odd man out for the reasons we all know about. But this team is a team of veterans. Like they knew what it was going to take to get their level up to the next level, expected to make the playoffs and then ultimately make this run, which I don't think many of us expected. Or once you get in the playoffs, who knows? It's anybody's gamble. But this team, based on what you just said, middle of the season, it just seems like what's happening, what's going on out there. Obviously, goaltending was we were questionable. It was Carter Hart was not playing the way he's been playing prior to this series. I would say that's another story, allowing 4 goals a night. But I do think that this is a very veteran group. We've seen it with them before. I remember being at the Hobie Baker Award, and they were here in I'm not in Las Vegas. I'm currently in Carolina, about to go to Vegas, but they were in Las Vegas, and I remember George McPhee saying, I don't know, he was nervous at the time. They weren't quite in the playoffs, and this is about 2 weeks before the end of the regular season. So, what they've done is really impressive. Definitely Tortorella kind of created a sense of calmness in this group and confidence in the playoffs. He hasn't really tweaked too much as far as style of play, but he definitely tweaked something psychologically in that locker room, and that's what we're seeing to this point in the Stanley Cup final.
The Cassidy thing is interesting to me because, to my understanding, and I don't know everything that happened in Vegas, but he gets fired basically for his abrasiveness, and then you go, okay, and then you go, well, we got an answer for that, John Tortorella, which is obviously is very
Cassidy on steroids.
Well, I mean that's what you say, but I've heard he's gotten very into meditation. He's very new age now. You'll notice he's holding crystals behind the bench when he's standing behind the bench. But am I off? That seemed like an odd, mid-season adjustment going from Cassidy to Tortorella. They seem like Jim Montgomery to Tortorella. I see, but that just seemed a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think the relationship was there and Torts was available and it worked at the time. I mean, to your point, I do believe that they have completely different philosophies and coaching. Listen, what you see with John Tortorella in the media is very different than what he's like in that room, than what he's like, with the media off camera. And last night I thought he absolutely, torched Johnny Lazarus for his question about, did you ever consider bringing Aiden Hill in? And I mean, that's a fair question. That is a very fair question to ask. And he wanted no part of it. But yet tomorrow, if they win or whatever it might be, he could be extremely nice to Johnny. You know what, Johnny, that's a great question. And you'll just see the flip. It just all depends on, how he wants to handle the media at that point. So, I think that perhaps Bruce Cassidy, from what I was told, maybe lost that room at a certain point, and they needed a change. They needed something to shake up the group. You're not going to trade a player at that point in the season. You're not going to, make a drastic change with personnel. You had to do something, and that's why Torts was the selection.
Do you think, we've batted this back and forth. If you're John Tortorella, do you sign the inevitable contract extension offer that's coming, or do you say, you know what, I'm going to step back again. Maybe there'll be another team in need of my services down the stretch next season, and kind of cherry pick your opportunities in the future? Well,
I don't know that extension is inevitably coming.
Oh, really?
I think I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see. They've got the Vegas Golden Knights AHL affiliate, the Henderson Silver Knights. They've got a great head coach, Ryan Craig, who's been kind of in the pipeline, and they've wanted, they love what he's done with that group. I know that his expectations were ultimately, to have an NHL coaching job. So we'll see if that's the selection. I mean, Torts said just the other day, I think it was yesterday morning, that, that this was it. He's riding this team. He wants to win a Stanley Cup, and he didn't commit to anything as far as next season. Based on the people I've talked to within the organization, it's not a shoo-in at this point. I think it's going to be up to, the conversations after the Cup final, see where everybody's at. I think if Torts wants to come back, then that becomes a totally different animal, because again, you've got Ryan Craig, you've got really good coaches in place that, it's like, if it's any organization, if you're expected to maybe rise the ranks and you don't, and they bring in someone from left field, maybe you see the writing on the wall. So we'll see how they handle the situation. It's very delicate, but I know they're not making any decisions on anybody, including front office and, PR people that were brought in at the last minute to make, kind of settle things down a little bit. They're not making any decisions on any of those people right now.
Some of the analysis I heard before the Cup Finals started, Catherine, was that goals were going to be at a premium and that this was going to be a real rock fight. Number one, what did you think before it started, and how did so many people end up being so wrong about this?
Yes, I don't know. I wish I had the answer to that. I didn't see this many goals per game. I also did not see this many momentum swings. And, I thought these are they're the two best teams remaining in the National Hockey League, but they're also two very defensively structured teams coming into the Stanley Cup final. Both goaltenders were playing really well. And I just think, what you're seeing is what's weird is that for Carolina coming into the series, their top line wasn't really performing really and truly up until last night, which is scary for Vegas, because that top line of Svechnikov, Aho, and Jarvis really is clicking on all cylinders right now. So, but I think, you had certain players that had elevated their game, guys like Taylor Hall and Logan Stankoven and these players. And, for Vegas, it was Brett Howden, and it's obviously Mitch Marner, but even Tomas Hertl. So I think you saw some of the non-superstars elevate their game, and then the goals started happening. Obviously, the goaltending, I think, is a little leaky in the series, and we've already seen a switch for Carolina. We're not going to see it for Vegas, but it was definitely a surprise. And I work with Patrick Maroon, 3 Stanley Cups, Mike Rupp, Stanley Cup, Brian Boyle, Corey Schneider. These guys are very good at analyzing the game, and every night we're all looking at each other like, what the heck is going on? It's a fan's dream. I think fans that are watching at home, even casual fans, we're all getting text messages from friends that might not tune in during the regular season and as often, or not passionate of one fan base, but they're blown away by this. Oh, what a great series. And we're thinking, yeah, these coaches are probably pulling their hair out, because this is actually not a great, when you're looking at it from a structure and defensively sound series. We don't have that. So, but again, it's been entertaining, really fun games. You don't know where they're headed every single night. And I think we're in for a really exciting Game 6 on Sunday.
Yeah, one of the things, Catherine, that is not surprising is Toronto's fans' reaction to Mitch Marner. And, and his actually performing in the postseason. How difficult was that for Mitch Marner? Everything that happened in Toronto, and what is the reclamation? I'm sure you've talked to him or talked to people that have talked to him. This is a rejuvenation of his career, and probably very good for him psychologically.
Yeah, there's no question. And I have talked to him, and I think it's, it's a relief for him. It wasn't the right situation in Toronto, ultimately. I think that's the number one most difficult market to play in the National Hockey League, and he was from there, which makes it even harder. So, there was so much pressure on him off the ice. There was so much, everywhere he went, he was getting hounded, and, he can go anywhere in Vegas. Like, that's a passionate fan base, but they're not following him to his house after games. They're not, harassing him outside of games or on the ice. And it just works. By the way, he wasn't asked to be, the number one guy in Vegas. He's surrounded by veterans who have won Stanley Cups, the Jack Eichels of the world. You've got Mark Stone. You've got, Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore and Noah Hannafin. Like, these are all great players. And I think it just was the right situation. And it has allowed Marner to flourish as a player. I mean, he was always this talented. I think it was just way too much for him in Toronto. And now he gets a change of scenery. He's surrounded by great players. He was well coached throughout the entire season. I mean, he was playing well during the season, and then the playoffs has just elevated his game. And I have no doubt in the back of his mind he's thinking about, what happened in Toronto. But at the same time, he's focused on winning a Stanley Cup. And, it's going to be interesting, his first game back there next season. I'm curious to hear how the fans react. But it's been fun to see the Twitter banter. And, I mean, at the end of the day, he did everything he could in Toronto. He was always an outstanding player, and that's what we're seeing here as well. It's just the results are much different.
Speaking of Twitter, you remember Dan Roach?
Of course.
Yeah. He got hacked by some crypto company, and now he's had to shut the whole operation down. So
wait, really?
Yeah, he said he got hacked. Well, unless he's lying and he's just now super into crypto.
Crypto maven.
And he's buying like Bentleys and stuff, which I imagine probably would be the case because everyone knows.
That sounds like Roachy.
Yeah, he lives fast and loose with that money. I mean, listen, 90% of it's in Disney. But the 10% he plays with can be crypto.
He's giving a lot of blessings to his crypto counselors and coaches. I don't think that it doesn't sound like Dan, so I believe he's been hacked.
Oh boy,
Dan is at that age though.
I haven't seen that. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that today.
Dan, don't be offended that Catherine hasn't looked at your Twitter. Well, Catherine Tappan. So, what's your schedule like here for the rest of the finals?
I leave this month. I'm currently in Raleigh, obviously, leaving in about 15 minutes for the airport, heading all the way back out to Vegas. We've got off-day shows tomorrow on the NHL Network, and then Sunday back on NHL Network pregame, postgame, and we will see Monday either flying home or heading back here to Raleigh for Game 7.
All right, Catherine, it's always great to talk to you. Thank you so much for
joining us. You guys, too. Thanks for having me. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too.
Thanks,
Catherine Tappan from the NHL Network. Interesting, John, as we have been speculating about if Tortorella is even going to be offered a deal.
I find that
Vegas.
Amazing. I mean, he saved that team.
Well,
basically single-handedly saved that team.
I'm sure it's not unprecedented in sports. I'm sure like some baseball team along the way like got like, Sparky Lyle or whatever guy, like, like some like 90-year-old dude to like take over and won. I don't doubt that that's happened. Like Red Shandings or something came in and walked through the door and won it, and then just decided not to come back. But I don't recall it in my lifetime.
But that's the guy's decision, not the team. That's
just
weird.
in general, just in general, yeah. Like I'm sure it has happened, but I can't.
Tortorella actually, they win the next two games and they win the Stanley Cup basically because Tortorella led him there, and then they don't offer him a contract. That's ridiculous.
It would be crazy, and it speaks a lot of Tortorella that it's what an interesting guy is that and Catherine seems to like him, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
I guess he's much nicer off mic than he is.
Nowhere to go but up, off.
Yeah, and according, he was a big dick in high school too. So I mean, this has been going on.
That's
for
well
a long
documented.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, people call in. They're like, I hated him.
I know.
And you get two people that hated you in high school. That still hate you. Like, I honestly can't think of anyone I hated in high school, and I know I did, but like that's gone. Like I don't remember that. Like at least off the top of my head, I don't hold any grudges from back then. So if you still hate a guy from high school,
you're not holding on to it for sport. You really hated that guy.
Yeah, like it's kid stuff, and that guy must have really been a dick, like a almost criminally dickish. Perhaps criminally dickish. I don't know. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headline.
Patriots finished off the
George is here. Our little guy George.
What's up, George? Made my day, people's champion.
So you love George.
What's up?
George is your new producer,
I
isn't
want to take him home and let my kids play with him.
Fits in your pocket.
Yeah, it's like that. What's that Richard Pryor movie? What's that one called?
I think it's called The Toy.
Silver
No, it's the one where he plays the pimp.
No.
Where he grows up in the whorehouse.
No. Richard Pryor, the one where he goes to the house.
Stir crazy.
No, the one where it's the fat guy in it too.
JoJo Dancer.
No.
I like that.
Idiot. Sup, George?
Superman 3.
Smells like your. No. Smells like your Cardinal Noir and cigarettes. I love that kid. Look at him. You got your belt? Belt boy. What's up, George?
The Wiz.
I had to take a whiz 4 times last night. I stopped getting up. I said, "What's the point?"
So you didn't make it to the bathroom.
Nah, I made it to the bathroom. I didn't make it. I didn't make it. I didn't make it the last time.
Did you go to the bed? Did you go in the bed?
I got a bed. What do you think? I have no bed?
No, I said, did you go?
No bed, Fred. Where are you sleeping? Couch? Couch boy.
So did you go?
You know.
Did you go in the bed? Did you go pee?
I went to bed. No, I don't pee in the bed. I peed in the bed though last night.
It's unfortunate that none of you understand how spot on this really is.
Would you like some egg salad sandwiches, perhaps? I'll leave some behind the dumpster.
Who has the best egg salad sandwich? It's this place that makes the best egg salad sandwich.
Oh, that's more Wiggins.
And they put a little.
So,
that's dangerously close to Wiggy.
They
That's
put
true.
a little paprika on it. And
Wait a minute. What's it called?
It smells like spice. They put like cinnamon in it. And it's got bread.
it's one of those sandwiches with bread.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh.
It's so good. It soaks up everything.
Which is science.
Yeah.
So George comes walking in, and he's wearing USA things.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
And
Yes.
he goes, it's big day for the USA. And I honestly, it took me like a minute until I was like, oh, yeah. And then it took me like a minute later. I was
What is it, 4th of July?
I was like, soccer. No, I was just ignoring it. I was just like, sure. Like, you're in a little outfit. Like, I get it. Like I was just like, whatever. I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to try to get in your head because I just get pissed off. And like, and he really, and I'm friends with Adolfo. Like, not just worked with him. I've maintained a friendship over 20 years with Adolfo. Like, I've spent a lot of time with him. And so George confuses me.
You've got a level
beyond that.
You've got a level of patience when it comes to understanding that I do not have. But even for you, when it comes to George, you can't do it.
Yeah, like people are like, there was like these things like, oh, everyone hates you there and everyone hates you there. Well, everyone might have hated me here, but I am friends with, like, to this day with some real not weirdos, I shouldn't say that, but weird, confusing folk that were employed at this station.
So I am a champion of the people.
And George, I cannot figure out what's going on, and it drives me crazy because you ask him, what's the people's champ? And it's like Sarge.
So I am a champion of the people.
Sarge breaks character, and now he doesn't even do Sarge anymore. But Sarge, as funny as it was, and I know it was annoying to him, but like it worked in a way. Like George, I just don't know what's going on. I do not.
It's just something that travels with me. Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Once
know.
you're NWO for life.
Yeah, like that's the answer, and it's like, are you? Because it's not funny. So like. And I'm not being mean, but it's just not funny. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be.
I don't know what this is.
Tell me why he is the people's champion.
There it is.
Yeah.
Tell me why his schedule's
Now, I was not nice to Nick 20 years ago, but I've developed a very good, loyal relationship with Nicholas. I think it goes both ways. And I understand Nicholas very well. I'd spend social time with Nicholas, and I have. Not like Adolfo, but I have. Not comparing Adolfo with Nicholas. I'm just saying, Nicholas eats in his sleep and things like that. But that I understand. Don't understand, George. Okay, George. Yeah, you stay right there, buddy. Yeah, that's another thing. Is
George, don't go too far.
George.
Don't let George get too far. Where'd he go?
You don't have to corral Nick. You have to have Nick corral people, which is a very
that was a problem at time. Yeah,
a blind spot for him. But but I never had to corral Nick or Adolfo. George needs to be corralled. Dan, go ahead.
Hey, I was going to say, T-shirts and bumper stickers for Freddie. 69, just don't mind where the nose goes. That's freaking hilarious. You've had a couple gold ones today, like no one's watching an ugly girl pee. Like, these are dynamite, dude. You need to, really put these together. Full portfolio.
Bumper stickers, yes, but I think it's more headstone suggestions. Right now, the leader in the clubhouse is, for Fred's headstone, is German porn by trope is scatological. And that will be his quote that appears on his tombstone.
What was the other one we had underneath that yesterday? There was another good one, too. It was a complete opposite of that. Remember that? What was the other one?
It doesn't matter because
really
it's already been trumped by it, as long as you don't mind where the nose goes.
As I said yesterday, that's a headstone you stop at and look for a while.
I think my daughter insisting upon, almost in a Tom Green fashion, of still doing 6'7". Like, she's pushing it way beyond.
Right.
Like, she's taking great joy. She is her father's daughter. She's taking great joy in how much it's bothering her friends at school that she still does 6'7". It bothers her mother, and she enjoys that very much. I like that about her. But I think maybe that is carried on into me, an adult. You got to adult it up a little bit for 69,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you say 59 or 79, I say you minus that.
Sure.
Put it in your pocket. All right. Well, listen, George is all dressed up in the USA because he loves it. He loves the USA. He loves MMA. He loves it all. And the World Cup now, the USA is not playing here.
No.
Right now. But the World Cup is here. And Scotland is playing here, and the Scottish have arrived, and there have been some news stories about that. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Oh, yes, soccer has arrived.
Gonzalez and Keishon Booty both sat out 11-on-11 periods. Training camp is next. The fun begins 6 weeks from tomorrow. At the Stanley Cup Finals, Carolina beat Las Vegas 4-2. Hurricanes lead 3-2. Game 6 is back in Vegas Sunday night. Bruins have reportedly hired Anaheim minor league head coach Matt McIlvain as a new assistant under Marco Sturm. Nikita Kucherov just beat out Connor McDavid for the Hart Trophy for league MVP last night. David Pastrnak finished 6th in the balloting. Red Sox had last night off. They open up a 3-game weekend series with Texas at Fenway Park tonight. The U.S. plays Paraguay out at SoFi Stadium in L.A. this evening in their first match at the World Cup. Yesterday it was Mexico over South Africa 2-0, and South Korea beat Czechia 2-1. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurants. Kids eat free the day after the Red Sox win. Get a free kids meal with every adult entree purchase. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
The Sports Hub. 3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
Big show on the way.
Need a little help getting started in the morning?
It's very dangerous.
They've got the experts.
So, no.
Toucher and Hardy.
No.
On the Sports Hub.
We're going to do our latest hit, which is rapidly falling in the charts, called King of the Road.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Trailer for sale or rent, rooms to let.
All right. We are Toucher and Hardy. And if you turn on YouTube and subscribe to 98.5 The Sport Hub, you can see a picture of a guy who likes this.
I do like this song. I like the original, and I am a fan of this. Can you turn it up, Beaton?
This, for those of you who don't know, shame on you. This is the twin Scottish brothers, the Proclaimers, that had an annoying song that was much like the Macarena of its day. 500 miles. I smoke. They're trying. They're really pushing.
They're not trying. They've got really thick Scottish accents. They've for all I know, have never lived outside of Scotland. They've toured the world, the Proclaimers, going back for
90s cruises,
30 plus years now. But they're a worldwide sensation. They haven't lost their accents. You've never learned to say interview properly. So
why
there are
is
things,
this about me?
There are things that because you're attacking,
clearly attacking Hardy.
You're attacking them for the way they speak. So yes, I'm turning it back on you. How does it feel? Billy Joel. Yeah, stones at glass houses. That's you.
I didn't see that either. That was good.
Yeah, I got it. Is that his punk record?
Yeah.
When he made his punk record and it was labeled as a punk record and it was the one that it's still rock and roll to me's on.
What?
Yeah.
Trying to remember the name of that group.
Yeah.
From the documentary. Hassles? Is that
No. Billy Joel, in response to punk rock music, released, I believe, the album Glass Houses that had It's Still Rock and Roll to Me on it. And there's a chapter of a book that the guy from The Best Show wrote, which is all about the absurdity of Billy Joel's punk rock album. And that goes along with his theory that no one likes Billy Joel. Everyone just has to admit it, that there is a certain obligation for a section of the population to just see him when he comes into town. And we investigated that with John, and with some introspection realized he doesn't particularly like Billy Joel.
Not anymore, no.
No, and he just, when he comes to town, there is this thing where his hands, without anything from his brain, go and buy tickets, and
all of a sudden I'm on my phone. It was odd. That's true.
But of all the groups, and Hardy is by no means has bad taste, and nor am I insulting anyone's. The Proclaimers are not the Grateful Dead. Let's get that out of the way. There's a certain thing of Fieldy's Dreams, the Grateful Dead, these things that are in a pot, and the Proclaimers are not in that pot. They are a novelty song act.
They're not a novelty song act. Sunshine on Lathe is a legitimately good album.
Okay, well, no one would know because they had a novelty song that was the hit, much probably to their consternation.
You know what? Now you're going to make me pull up the song Sean from Sunshine on Lathe there, Beaton.
It's about Sean Cassidy.
No, it's not.
Who had more artistic credibility than the Proclaimers.
You like getting inside and
run.
He's a honk. Hardy does like the Proclaimers, though. Which
Turn
is
up, Beaton.
Sean, I'd say the best one came from Tupelo, Mississippi.
How do you know this song?
Tell you now that grown men cry and Irish girls are pretty. See, he's talking about Elvis.
Something out of The Hobbit, this song.
The best one came from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash vibes. Look, if someone was playing this in a bar, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, literally playing this, like two guys in a bar. Huh. I think it's Manhattan Transfer. Yeah. Whatever, who cares? I just thought it was funny that Hardy knows it too. He's playing. He knows that his loving the Proclaimers
Was going to get under your skin?
Was just an odd thing. Like
Yeah.
you don't meet someone every day that's like a big fan of the Proclaimers. And I'm not even being dismissive when I'm saying that they're known almost exclusively as having a novelty song, and by 99.9% of the population. You, to your credit, see how I have to work him so he'll even participate.
I get
now?
it. It just, however,
You,
the
to your
relationship
credit,
goes.
investigated.
No, I'm not.
You, to your credit, investigated the record and found out that you liked it.
Yeah, but I'm not arguing with you, Fred, because you get your hackles up. But it's not a novelty song. If you want to call him a one-hit wonder, that's fine. But a novelty song is...
Go ahead. I'm just playing the song underneath.
A novelty song is more like Disco Duck. That's a novelty song.
I think 500 Miles qualifies as a novelty
No,
song.
it qualifies as a one-hit wonder song. That's their one hit.
Twins, I would walk 500 miles. That's kind of
Pretty
a novelty
Fly
song.
for a White Guy is a novelty
Yes,
song.
but not a one-hit wonder.
Correct.
So you can be a novelty song and not be a one-hit wonder, and you can be a novelty song and a one-hit
You could
wonder.
be a one-hit wonder with a novelty song.
I would label 500 Miles.
Is Four Non Blondes What's Up a novelty song?
No.
Why?
Because that was just known as a standalone song. There wasn't a gimmick to it.
Well, what's the gimmick to 500 Miles?
The twins with the accents.
Well,
that's the
who
gimmick.
that's who they are, and they're not affecting the accent. That's how they sound.
Fine. Dr. Demento wasn't fabricating his
Easy,
dimension.
Easy.
Pac-Man Fever, novelty song, 500 Miles, one-hit wonder.
Thank you, John.
I
John
think it's a
gets
novelty
it.
song.
Well, you're wrong.
Fishhead's not a novelty song. All right, very good.
Rooms to let 50 cents.
Thank God they covered this because
No phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes, but
I love it. Welcome to all of our visitors from Scotland.
Goodness. All right.
How many people from Scotland do you think own the Proclaimers?
All of them. I think you have to. I think it's like Billy Joel here. Everyone has to go see a concert and possess one Billy Joel record, at least a single. I had It Still Rock and Roll to Me on a 45. You had to do
did.
it.
Of course you did.
Have you ever, perhaps, there's a band, where are they from? They're from, where were we going to take over? Greenland. There's a band from...
Hey, we still are, buddy.
I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
Canada there.
Don't you give up on that dream.
That was Canada would apply too, but they've put out. So there's like a band when the U.S. was going, we're taking over Greenland, and Greenland was upset. Obviously, would be if someone was saying they're taking your land. Everyone kind of went to this Greenland band, and Greenland only has like a really limited number of people on it. Like I don't venture to guess, but it was like small. I think it might be even on under 100,000 people. But I could be off. I don't think it's anywhere near 1 million people. It might be 500,000 people. But nonetheless, something with a 5. But nonetheless,
55,000.
Okay,
Wow.
good. So I wasn't that far off. So
No.
they found this band who is a Greenland band. They sing in the language they use in Greenland, which is almost like a Native American vibe to it, or indigenous people's vibe to it. They're certainly indigenous of Greenland, and it was weird because
Greenlandic.
yeah. So did you even know Greenlandic was a language?
No.
And these guys are like the band, like they are the band in Greenland, and they've made videos and things like that. That's a rabbit hole you can fall down. If
Bunch
you
of
would like
novelty songs, probably. They're singing in that.
If one of them was a hit, I could say it's a novelty song because it's in a language that there's never been a song. There's a bunch of random stuff in here. Go ahead, Nate.
How about a one-hit wonder, which is also a novelty song? What was that song by the Bloodhound Gang? The Bad Touch?
Yeah. We were nothing
remember
but
that?
mammals. But they had
They
another
had
hit.
Firewater Burn.
Yeah, so they had more than one hit. They are a novelty band.
Yeah, they're a novelty band.
And because the guy was the intern for Stern, they were a novelty
Novelty
band.
act.
Novelty act, but they had a different kind of thing. All right. So anyway, the Scotland people, the Scottish, my friend Colin Reddock, you'll have to give me some grace if I have a little bad memories of Scotland, because my elementary school friend Colin Reddock was moved to the States with his family when I was in elementary school. They ended up moving back to Scotland when I was in middle school. And I went to the Pyromania tour with Colin, and I bought one of those Union Jack sleeveless Def Leppard shirts that they had. And it was my mom, Colin, and I. And while they were playing, I held up the Union Jack shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. I was also 10, 9, probably 9, maybe even 8. And Colin called me a poser because I was not from the United Kingdom.
I wouldn't have called you a poser at the age of 8. I may have called you a douche. Be an 8-year-old
I
douchebag.
bought him. Okay, let me defend myself. I've done many douchey things and will admit to all of them. Let me defend my 8-year-old self. They, in all their videos, are wearing Union Jack shirts.
Uh-huh.
They are selling Union Jack shirts.
Yeah, novelty band.
I purchased.
Yeah. You did it.
Doing the show the rest of I just apologize to Eddie and all his listeners. He knows not of what he speaks. Please, I know, but he's just a man.
What else do you call a band with a one-armed drummer other than a novelty act?
Well, first of all, when I saw him play, he had two arms. So, I mean,
Did he kill someone in that accident?
I don't know. I don't think so. I do not think he killed anyone.
All right, go ahead.
But to defend my 8-year-old self, they were selling them at the show. I bought it. My mom bought it for me. We went and got into seats. It had Def Leppard on it, and I just held it up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start holding it up and screaming about Scotland. And they're not even from Scotland. It's the Union Jack. Anyway, he called me a poser, and it stuck with me to this day. I have very few memories, but I do remember being wronged by Colin Reddock. And he emailed me as an adult, and I went, no, I remember.
Rick Allen blames the seatbelt for taking his arm off.
I think that it like cut the circulation off of his arm or something like that.
He was driving back, and his seatbelt came undone and took off his left arm as he was thrown through the sunroof.
Is the Bloodhound Gang have the song that goes, the drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm? The drummer from did that all come around in a beautiful circle?
Wow.
That's impressive.
It all happened.
How about that?
Is that the Bloodhound Gang? There's some novelty song that goes, the drummer from Def Leppard only's got one arm. The drummer from Def Leppard. Which is a lot of crap to take if you're him.
Bloodhound Gang.
Wow, that's amazing.
Really
Why
good.
is everybody always picking on me? Another one of their quote-unquote hits.
They were before I was on the radio. Peter, go ahead.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to let John Wallach know as a student at Hobart College in the 1970s. We couldn't stand Billy Joel back then, and still can't stand him now. And that you may be right, I may be crazy, and all that stuff, and that punk rock, supposed punk rock album.
Glass Houses, which
he didn't bring you around with the doo-wop phase.
That was Longest Time, I believe, is what you're talking about.
Longest Time and Uptown Girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Uptown Girl, even Christy Brinkley couldn't save that video. Or how about the one where they're in the basement in Manhattan, in quotations, and it's just
1, 2, 1, 2. They open up the windows.
Yeah.
It's a matter of trust. Yes.
And all those people signed releases. They all signed releases. They're on a real Manhattan. I've never seen anything more fake in my entire life. Like, why don't you just do it? Like, why don't you just go outside and play? It's not that hard. Instead of going to a set and pretending to have people on the street start dancing around to your crap.
Yeah, if the Beatles could pull it off, do the rooftop show.
I mean, even Limp Bizkit, as bad as they were, managed to get themselves arrested. Tyler, the Creator, the Odd Future got themselves arrested here for playing. Get yourself arrested, you pussy. It's not like you're in jail for more than 10 seconds. They probably don't even cuff you. All right, anyway. So I saw this on TV. They're Scottish people. They've come into town. And a few of them got this Airbnb where they've regaled it with flags of, like, I guess they're Scottish flags. How the hell would I know? But small country, you know. Beautiful people, wonderful place, Colin Reddick aside. And they came outside and did this. Yeah, so that happened.
It's 6:30 in the morning.
It's 6:30 in the morning or 6:30 at night?
I thought it was 6:30
I read
a.m.
morning, a.m.
Yeah.
Well, that's illegal.
Yes, there are noise ordinances. Not even in the town of Newton or Brookline. Noise ordinances.
I wouldn't mind it. It's once a year. It's like, you remember when the World Cup was here and that guy was playing the bagpipes out at 6:30 in the morning? It's like, it happens once. It's fine.
How long do you insist on the bagpipes being an instrument? Like
the entire time you're here.
Like no, not just society.
Oh,
like as human beings. Like the bagpipes were invented, and I'm sure that they served a purpose in battle and things like that. But at what point does the world, like humans, go like, I know it was invented, but it has a very unpleasing sound.
Well, you know what it is, Fred? It's a novelty instrument, and it remains novel.
Does Weird Al Yankovic use it in Another One Rides the Bus? If not, then
I bet Weird Al's got some bagpipes in one of his songs.
That's the accordion that he's referencing.
No,
I know that.
Another One Rides the Bus. He stomps on. It's actually funny. He stomps on like bike horns, like that make low guttural noises. We're all over the place. He's actually funny. His first television appearance on Tom Snyder. It's the only time I've ever found one of his songs at all funny, even remotely funny.
Another One Rides the Bus.
Yeah, because it's just him, and and no one knows who he is.
Right.
And he's just spazzing out to a song with a lot of space in it, and he's just hit it, and he has a guy that his only job is to hit these. And it's actually so dumb, which is the point, obviously, but it's so dumb. It's actually pretty funny. Like, I found myself laughing to it. Don't show it to girls, because I'm not sure they get it the same way.
I was going to say, unless you're going to set aside 45 minutes of quality time, because that'll really get them going.
And it's funny. I showed people our Thuppets video that's out, and do this experiment if you want to see people's. And everyone liked the Thuppet video, the new one, at Toucher and Hardy on Instagram. And I played it for them. They all liked it. Even my son. But it took 5 seconds for them to start either commenting or asking questions. This video's under a minute. Or it's a minute or under a minute. It's like just silence for 45 seconds. Not one person able to watch it without asking a question or making a comment. And in a 45-second video, if you make a comment, you're missing 5 seconds of it.
Right, I know. Yeah, I know.
You know? All right. We'll be back in just a moment with our award-winning email segment.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way.
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy. It is almost time for the email segment. Joe, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so I'm curious. I have my own answer to this question, but I won't bore you with it. I'm curious what you guys think is like the talk radio Mount Rushmore of hosts and of shows. Not including sports talk, because that's kind of whatever, but like in terms of other forms of talk.
Well, whose are yours? I'm curious to hear yours.
I'd probably put Stern, O&A, Bob Lassiter.
Who's Bob Lassiter?
Bob Lassiter was South Florida, so he was he was friends with Neil Rogers.
Yeah, Neil Rogers is one of my three. Yeah.
And yeah, I'd probably put Ron and Fez there too.
Ron Bennington's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So those would probably be, and South Florida in particular, for some reason, has like a trillion of those guys.
Yeah, because Neil Rogers and Ron were kind of like, in retrospect, which isn't fair, kind of corny, but Ron Bennington's obviously very, very funny. So, and has a very good style on the radio. So I think that's, I don't know Lassiter, but I think that's a very legit list. Everyone has heard mine.
I'm in lockstep with two of yours, and I'd have to think about the rest, but it's Stern and Phil Hendry.
Yeah, Stern, Phil Henry, and Neil Rogers. Now, I wouldn't want to do Phil Henry's show. It'd be fun to always just do characters. But Phil Henry, Neil Rogers, and Stern. Stern is the reason, like, even like Pat McAfee, like, it's like any band now, whether they even know it or not, is influenced in some way by the Beatles, because the Beatles reinvented everything for the next generation of bands. Next generation of bands were influenced by that. So, like, even if you've never heard a Beatles album, if you're in a band, a rock band of any kind, or any kind of band with instruments, really, you've been in a way influenced by the Beatles, whether you know it or not. It's the same with Stern. Is like, if like Pat McAfee doesn't have that freedom and that conversational kind of show, if it wasn't for Howard Stern, like, he was truly. Now, other guys were doing it, but Stern did it the best and was the most successful at it. And so that's him. And Phil Henry did a show, if you don't know, where he would be himself, and then he would have guests on who are also him doing voices, and they would be guests with outrageous issues or problems with the world. And then Phil Henry would take calls of people yelling at his guests, thinking that they were real. I actually sat in on a show.
Yeah, which I'm insanely jealous you got to do, but his guest would be on the phone, so he would toggle back and forth between his live mic and the telephone and talk to himself, and people would swear. You would swear listening to him the first couple of times that it was pre-taped and edited, and it was not. He did it live, and he would cut himself off and switch from voice to voice, and it was, I mean, that alone was a great skill, but it was funny and it was outrageous. And the stuff that he would have his guests on to do, and he would have recurring characters. But the thing about Phil Hendry was, I don't know that you can go back and find full shows and really understand it now, but he always said he would be a victim of his own success, because the show depended on people not knowing that it was him doing the voices and people calling up to argue with his quote unquote guest. And the more you learned about the show and understood what he was doing, you would never bother to call in and argue, because you didn't want to be, pranked. You can't agree to be pranked. It doesn't work. So that's why I think he never got to be as big as he should have been.
Well, he could only do it at night, which is one thing. And then, his staff was an engineer. He ran the board, but there was an engineer and two phone screeners who he was very tough on, because they were, very, very important, because they had to screen and make sure the people weren't in on it.
Right.
So they had to make sure that they were really angry people. And you only could do it at night because you need maniacs that are going to get that upset about something, and they're listening at night.
Do you know who I'll throw into the mix here? Not that I think he was necessarily a great talent, but just for the show that he did, Art Bell.
I never heard Art Bell. I know, obviously, who he is.
It was so strange.
Yeah.
And I used to hear it in Vegas, and I think he used to broadcast from like out there somewhere. It was like in some rural part of Nevada.
Well, something happened to his kid, and he had to like go off the grid, because he, to my understanding, is he attracted such maniacs that there was either a threat on his kid or his kid was kidnapped or something, and he decided to move out to like a bunker, like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was a strange guy. But Johns are Eddie Andelman and Dr. Demento.
Yeah.
That's who Johns are.
Art Bell had a guy on one. He had the director. And again, this doesn't speak to his great talent or intelligence. I'll always remember this. He had the director of the Blair Witch Project on. And Art Bell's show was all about aliens and, bottomless holes in the desert and things that, sometimes had been debunked, but he would give, the entire platform over to these people and delve into these conspiracy theories. And he had a great voice and a great manner for it. So he had the director of the Blair Witch Project on, and he was asking him questions like, okay, so, the movie has, just opened. It's a great success. How did you stumble upon this footage? The guy said, well, that's the whole premise, that, this is found footage and that it was, supposed to be a film, but we created it. And Art Bell says, yes, but, how did you get the parents' permission to make the film? And the director kind of laughs. He's like, well, yeah, I guess that's part of like the behind the scenes premise that, we would have needed that in order to do it. He said, no, but how did you actually do it? How did you? Art Bell had no idea it was not.
It was fake. That's great.
Well, that happened. So
I'm like, oh, Art, this makes me love you even more.
So the Blair Witch Project was, obviously a movie, but the way that it was marketed, it was real low budget, and it was marketed as being true. It was around the birth of the popularity of the internet, kind of. And I remember and they had released things online under the guise of that this was found footage of these people being murdered and da-da-da-da. And I worked at CNNSI. There was like a head editor. I don't even remember what he did, but he was in that big bullpen, and he was running around saying how there was a movie coming out about this real thing, and I'd never heard of it. And then I looked at it, and I remember going, I can't work with this guy. Like the idea that this moron somehow thinks that there is a movie coming out, that this is real, is truly an idiot, and I can't have this guy in any even minor role of superiority over me. And I believe I left right around then, because I was like, I can't, this guy is so dumb. He also bought grosses of golf balls. Like, he bought obscene amount of golf balls for the value.
Because they all appreciate
and
after you buy them.
Well, no, you need 1,000 of them.
Well, I was going to say, if you're using that many.
Well, yeah.
That's also an issue.
He had some big thing that he like really bragged about, which is an odd thing, that he would buy like golf balls by the metric ton.
Yeah.
For the value, you see. Because you could go your whole life without buying 1,000 golf balls, but boy, oh boy, if you can spend the money on them. Our email segment, by the way, is powered by Jeffrey Glassman. Injury lawyers, if you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com.
All right. This is from Dave. The email reads, the toaster appears to me blurry through the murky bathwater as I look up from the bottom of the tub. The plugged-in appliance teases me, promising me a quick escape from this crushing black vacuum that I call life, since Adam 12 left for a station that plays Dave Matthews Band. It's terrible. It's all just terrible. My pointless existence is just about to end as I begin to bend my elbows to hug the toaster to my chest.
Jeez.
But wait, let me check out the show to see what's going on. Oh no, did Breer just fall for the Witherspoon joke? It was told with a level of brilliance that even the sharpest mind would fall into the trap. Another victim, another pelt to be hung on the wall. I jump out of the tub with renewed vigor, realizing life is beautiful. I will continue on, if not only for another weekend, but for a chance to wake up Monday morning and hear what those sons of bitches will say at 6 a.m. That is from Dave.
Bert's face after you did that. That was fantastic.
Well, you really got him.
Yeah.
I did get him.
Yeah.
Blind Scott has chimed in that he used to bother Art Bell.
Oh, good. Oh, good. He's listening.
Oh, damn you, Scott. Leave Art Bell alone.
Well, no, but Art Bell, who would have people that literally, according to things I've heard, had lowered a mic into hell.
Yeah.
Right.
And, Even he was bothered by Blind Scott. Blind Scott annoyed him.
Hey, guys, this is mostly for Fred, but found myself pissed off this week. It's one of my best friends I've known for years listed The Sandlot as one of his 4 favorite films. Feel like you're one of the only group of guys who understand how bad that movie sucks.
Oh, it sucks, yeah.
Not even the best baseball movie of the year. That was Rookie of the Year. Also, it's not like we have some sort of penchant for lost America 50s nostalgia. We're literally 36. So the love for this film makes no sense. Please give me a second for how bad this movie sucks. Thanks. Have a great weekend, Tom.
Well, so The Sandlot's terrible, and the main character, especially as an adult, sucks. And I don't know why he just doesn't profess his love to the kid that plays for the Dodgers.
Benny the Jet Rodriguez?
Yeah, he obviously has a homosexual infatuation with him. But the thing is, I mean, to even as a grown adult, like, still be worshiping at the altar of someone you grew up with is bizarre, to say the least. And probably some closeted feelings involved. But beyond that, the one thing I'll say about The Sandlot is one of the few movies that both my kids liked. Like Zoe and Mila, girl and boy, both like The Sandlot. And that didn't happen an awful lot. And they both wanted to watch it even into their teens, because I guess it gave them fond feelings or whatever. But yes, as a film, it's terrible, but it does. Sometimes you just have to acquiesce that there are, with the audience it's intended for, it hits. So what are you going to do?
Well, there's a couple of problems that can't be helped, I guess, because of the subject matter. Too many kids, right? You get that many kids that are not all going to be able to act. And for the same reason, and I get more pushback on this than anything, A Bronx Tale. Now, that movie sucks.
Yes. So that's something like on Instagram, like people were like, A Bronx Tale. And I had seen it and had no recollection of it, really. I mean, I knew De Niro was in it, and the kid that was the main character had legal trouble in real life.
Right.
Like, I knew all that. And I sat down, and I'm like, this is almost like a caricature of this kind of movie.
Yes, it is. It is just a shallow attempt at making a Goodfellas type movie that has 2 people in it, in a big cast, 2 people that can actually act. You've got De Niro and Chaz Palminteri.
I was just gonna say,
no one else in that movie can act their way out of a paper bag, and the plot, everything else. And I know it's Palminteri's life story. As a one-man show, it's probably great. As a movie, sucks.
And it's got the cool scene with the bikers where they like
in the bar.
But even that, they screw up by doing the soundtrack in the background, which is a direct rip from Goodfellas, playing the music that doesn't match the mood of the scene. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, how does everybody fall for this crap?
It's a fantasy. Like, a bunch of bullies come into something and they're bullying you, and then like even bigger bullies come in and like kill them.
And then the fat guy pushes him up against the bar. It's like, that's stupid.
Well, none of that makes sense.
And none of it makes sense. It's dumb.
But scenes like that are rewarding because you put yourself in the shoes of the people, and you're like, what? Like, a bunch of bikers come into a bar and they start just doing whatever they want. You can't stop them. So there's that fantasy. It's like that Death Wish fantasy, like the movie, not a Death Wish, but like that.
Which is what you wish for John.
That's not true.
Why would he say that?
That's not true.
Where's that even coming from?
Seriously, that's out of nowhere.
But
Have I
like,
wronged you in some way today, sir?
It's like Taken, like anything like that, right? Like there's like that.
Kind of like you want to have happen to Hardy.
Bob Odenkirk has got the movie where he's the regular. Well, he's not a regular guy, but a seemingly regular guy that can, like, when guys come up to him and screw with them. Huh? Nobody.
Nobody. Yeah, it's good.
Yes, they made a second one, which I
have not watched. I don't need to see it again.
I got enough out of the first one.
I didn't even need to see the first one the second time, but I liked it.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. There's the email segment. Thank you for your emails. And that Thubbits video is up now on our social media at Toucher and Hardy. All right. We'll be back in just a moment to finish things up for the week.
Sports Hub headline.
Patriots finished up mandatory minicamp yesterday. Once again, Harold Landry, Morgan Mose.
here at Toucher and Hardy, finishing things up for the week. A week that all the way back on Monday featured the stupidly titled Who's Your Caddy golf tournament. But here we are.
That was this week?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's summer, too, so you would figure that the weeks would be going faster.
Interesting messages today. I got some fascinating ones, including this one, which was actually hidden by Instagram. Ryan Beaton posted this for all to see after the Nick Gemelli sleep eating video was posted. Someone posted, for having already damaged his heart to the point that a pig had to be needlessly sacrificed so its parts could be used to save his life. You'd think Nick would take his health a little more seriously. And what does that say about you, that a pig's organs are healthier than yours? Is what this gentleman was upset about. Forced him to comment on Instagram. Nick, any reply at all?
Have you ever?
Excellent stuff. All right, thank you. Nick.
Have you ever gotten something like this, a text message to your real phone?
Yeah, click on it. Click on the link.
This is blank. Blank's father-in-law. I noticed that I hit your number in my contacts by mistake. Sorry, I will go ahead and remove all your info. I do hope you are well.
Yes, I get random texts like that. Like, hey, how you doing? Question mark.
That's a phishing thing.
Yeah, it's a phishing. Don't, stay away.
But I gave him my social security number. So it's like logging into the employee portal. You got to.
Fred, you were making fun of the bagpipes earlier. How dare you?
Yeah.
Bagpipes served as vital military tools in battle.
I said it. I said, I know that they had a military, or I said, I'm sure they had a military significance.
They were used to communicate commands over the noise of combat, boost troop morale, and intimidate enemies. Their piercing sound carried over long distances. They were so effective at directing soldiers that British law historically classified them as actual weapons of war. So, if the Scottish fans in town for the World Cup want to, what do you call them, blow the bag?
That's how you call it, yes.
Blow the bag outside their Airbnb at 6:30 in the morning, you let them. Because it's got historical significance.
Well, I don't really know how I'd stop them, but I'm certainly not calling the police on them. I don't think I'm alone. I mean, this is crazy, but it could have even been on an episode of Father Knows